Hello, you beautiful nerds. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast, where we talk about sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and all the popular author we love. Also, we do it drunk. Mostly drunk. Never mandatory, but always encouraged. I am Jedi Master Grayson. I am joined, as always, by my co-host and brother Bill. How you doing?
I'm Dern. I'm Laura Dern. Laura Dern, good.
That's gotta be good. There's nothing bad about Laura Dern. We're gonna have a great show for you guys tonight. We are going to be talking about Star Wars Acolyte. We're talking Bad Boys Ride or Die. We'll talk about why I don't like that title later. And we're also talking about the new sci-fi series Apple. I was back. Okay. We're on the Apple TV. We're talking about the Apple TV Plus series Dark Matter, and as always, we're talking shit.
Always.
That's pretty much all we do here.
Not gonna happen.
But let's introduce our panel before we get into the nitty gritty. He is practically family, but y'all just hate him because he's light skinned. What is up, El Jefe? Jeff, sorry.
You're muted.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you must have Verizon.
All right.
We can hear you now.
Bro, motherfucking Verizon. Yes, hello, I'm here. Hi.
Welcome back, dude.
Welcome back. I'm gonna pull this.
So that's it.
I'm tired of sitting up.
Yeah,
Did
thanks.
something happen to you in Verizon?
Wait, what'd you say?
You don't need to
I'm
worry
just-
about Verizon. Verizon knows what Verizon did.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Verizon.
Not a sponsor.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah. I
Also-
guess you were confused about that glowing review we just did. But we are also joined by a philosopher of the barbershop variety. What is up, 9?
I'm doing very well. How are you guys doing today? I'm just noticing, is there something wrong with your arm, Alex?
Oh yeah, my arm's in a sling. I fucked up my shoulder over the weekend.
Ooh, you're doing what?
Don't challenge Rosie O'Donnell to a arm wrestling contest.
Not if you've been drinking.
Yeah, it seems like a good time. You
No,
know?
she's been drinking.
Fun fact. Also, don't challenge her to a regular wrestling contest. She'll kick your ass on that too.
Big facts. She got a bad hip now, so
Oh yeah, might be
just shoot the gap on her ass.
Funny story, real quick.
Fuck
When
sure.
I bought the sling and then I went to the emergency room and the nurse was looking at my sling and she was like, "Oh, have you put on a sling before?" I was like, "I mean, no, this is my first time." And she's like, "Oh, it's like it's like you did it kind of perfectly. Most people fuck it up." And in my mind, I didn't say it out loud, but in my mind, I was like, "They will know your ways. You will put on your clothes just as part of the culture." Like I was on that.
Is the sling the reason you're sitting close? Is that the reason you're sitting close?
Do people really fuck that up?
You should back up because I brought
Yes, actually, a lot.
I don't know.
I have a friend
how.
who's a nurse.
They just.
I don't get it, but they do it.
People be doing stuff.
But let's go ahead and move into our
But
let's before we get into talking about what movies and TV shows we're going to be discussing tonight. We're going to be going over one of our new segments of the night.
that's right. Sorry.
Jeff,
a lot tonight.
Jeff, do you have a book you wanted to discuss with the class today?
Of course, I figured we should continue with what we're doing, and we're gonna jump into Shadow Doctor issue 2. So, if you guys remember, we left off with Nathaniel. Just no one's willing to give him a chance as a doctor, so he goes to the one place he could think of, and the last issue ends with him in front of Al Capone. Well, this issue does not start with him in front of Al Capone. It starts years earlier when he's a kid in Alabama. And him and this little ginger white girl are running through a forest, and she's leading him and she's trying to bring him to this place. And he's like, "Oh, you're lying. You don't know where it is." And then they come upon a random fig tree in the middle of an Alabama forest. So she's talking about like, "Oh, come on. Don't you want to try one of these?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course." But then ends up kissing her. And then they end up, getting down.
Okay, I'm with it.
So
now.
we thanks, Athelius.
What's good, Othelius? What's good?
All time.
So then it cuts to Nathaniel waking up with a fucking gun in his face. And remember, this is like 1924 Alabama, and he just slept with a white girl. And
roll tide.
But
Hans Alley right here.
It's not what you think it is. The guy holding the gun is Nathaniel's dad.
Oh.
He wakes Nathaniel up. He pulls him up. He's screaming at him. He's like, are you insane? Do you know what you just did? And Nathaniel's like, it's not that big a deal. You know, we love each other, blah, blah, blah. And his dad's like, you just killed yourself.
Just killed all of us.
So what his dad did was literally from right there, took him to a train station, gave him all the money in his pocket and put him on a train to Chicago. It was the last time Nathaniel was ever in Alabama.
Man, this is
right.
This is like real life.
Exactly. Cut back to Nathaniel in front of Capone, and Capone being real casually racist. It's like just sitting there. He's like, man, you know what? You like the color maroon? Your people look really good in maroon. Except he doesn't use the term "your people."
It's very. I just think of Captain Niggabird when he said he's out of line, but he's right. So we look pretty good in maroon. I'm just saying.
Right.
Yeah, he's out of line, completely out of line. But can I look at those maroon suits while you?
So Capone's sitting there getting measured for a suit, just casually, racially complimenting Nathan. And Nathan's asking him for $2,000. And Capone's like, why do you even want it? And Nathan says, I want to open up a doctor's office. And Capone says no. And Nathan's just confused. And he asks him, like, why? $2,000 is nothing to you. And Capone goes Capone real fast. He spins on Nathan. He starts screaming at him. Who are you to tell me what to do with my money? It's my money. If I say no, that's fucking it. You don't ask. And he calms down, and Nathan like freaks out because Al Capone's yelling at you in the face.
Yeah.
And Capone pulls it back real quick, and he controls himself again. And he looks at him and he says, "Listen, I'm not the type of man you want to owe money to. No white person is going to go in there and see you as a doctor." And this is a direct quote. He says, "I can count on my hand the number of black folks that could afford a doctor in this city." He goes, "If I give you that money, you'll have no way to pay me back. I'm not doing it." So Nathan leaves dejected and, feeling depressed because duh. And then it cuts to more Capone stuff. And now we start seeing some interesting behind the scenes politics of the mob world. It cuts to Capone's house. He's sitting there. He's talking with his brother and his lieutenants, and while he's in the kitchen making dinner, and his mom's just sitting there and not on the meeting, because okay. And they're talking about the hidden six and how the president is trying to find a way to take Capone down, and Capone's like, "You're all insane. No, that's not real. There's no way people are going to the president over me. No, you're delusional. Calm down." They're like, "No, Al, this is a serious thing." And he puts down his foot. He's like, "Listen, we're not talking about this anymore. I said it's not real. It's not real." And they're like, "Okay," and they move on. And then it cuts, and then all the lieutenants shuffle out, and Capone's mom is talking with them, and she's like, "Hey, who was that black boy in the lobby today?" And he's like, "Why, did he say something to you?" And she's like, "No, I didn't say anything, but I just saw this look in his eyes, and he just really reminded me of your father." And she started reminding Al of when Al's father was getting ready to come to America. And Al starts thinking about his early life in America back in Brooklyn, and like how he's like, America is all about the man, not the station. And you see Capone getting really wistful. And that was that page I was telling you about. And
the white woman and the daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Capone calls up one of his lieutenants. He's like, "Hey, go grab one of my brother's suits. Go get the keys to this place, and then I need you to go grab somebody." And that's the first issue. And so we cut to they're in a jazz club and they're listening to some music and stuff. And they walk Nathaniel in, and he's talking with Al again. And he goes, "What's that?" And Al hands him some keys, and he goes, "Hey, this is to a storefront on Oak Avenue." There's an apartment above it. Make a great doctor's office. Yeah, this is right before they bring him over to the club. Make a great doctor's office. And Nathan's like, what? And there's also cash on the table. He goes, are you lending me $1,000? And Capone looks at him and goes, no, I told you, I'm not the type of guy you want to owe money to. I'm gifting you this money. And he goes on this spiel about how, like, I want to, I don't think you're going to make it work, but I want to believe that's what America is. I want to believe that it's all about the man, not the station, not this, not that. And it's funny because you hear they're giving a really romantic view of Al Capone.
Yeah.
But I mean, it also makes sense. That was a big part of what Capone was about. He wanted to keep the people happy, because if he kept the people happy, then there'd be less,
Snitching.
And less people calling for the mob to get arrested.
And people don't call you racist if you're nice.
right? So Capone gives him a storefront, and he gives him $1,000 in 1932 or whatever. It's literally as the Depression's starting. And Nathan's just amazed. And he's walking out and he's like, this is $1,000. This is more money than I've ever seen. This is more money than all of my ancestors put together have ever had. And he walks out of the club and he's standing in this alley and he's just looking at that and the key, and he's imagining this great life that's coming. And then there's a huge explosion in the club he just left, and he gets thrown across the alley, but he's okay because he's not in there. Mm-hmm. But then he gets up and he's dazed and he's confused, and he turns around, and there's Capone lying in this rubble of this building that just blew up, and that's how this issue ends.
Oh shit! Okay,
damn.
Yeah, this comic is sounding cooler and cooler every time.
This sounds badass.
Again, also all real events.
Right. I only brought Capone up here so those youngins, the whippersnappers, y'all can see who we're talking about. Because I couldn't find him really in the art.
In the comic. It's kind of hard to tell who he is. You don't see the famous scars.
Yeah, and also there's like limited photos on Google's.
Give it a Googs.
By the way, if any of you youngins are wondering, Al Capone was Scarface in real. That was his real life nickname from the media, from the publications that he hated.
Not the movie, like the movie where they never say the word Scarface.
Right.
Oh yeah. Athelia said he's talking about the father of the main character, the Shadow Doctor. His pop said, all right, you gotta go. I ain't about to end up like Emmett Till's mama. Yeah, right. He's like,
that's exactly what I was thinking.
I want to end up on the papers and shit. Like, you
end up like, they would just kill that nigga.
Dude, I don't know how it came up, and I don't even remember who it was, but I remember within the past year, like just like mentioning Emmett Till, and someone just had no clue what I was talking about. And I was like, how are you my age, raised in America, and you've never heard of Emmett Till?
You've never even read, you don't have to have read a book, or
they made a movie recently.
They talked about it on
God, that face
Lovecraft Country.
Yeah,
they mentioned it in a lot of shit. It's just
very
that's just
touchstone.
Yeah, speaking of Lovecraft Country, like there's a whole bunch of HBO shows of that ilk, because there were a lot of people who never heard of the fucking Tulsa Massacre before.
Watchmen,
yeah.
And then I think that a lot of people, I think there's
shout
no
out to
coincidence.
HBO getting white folks caught up.
Like there's no coincidence that show came out.
It's cute. You think I'm caught up?
Well, you can't be caught up, but you gotta get caught up. English language is limited.
But definitely gotta check out this book.
But I know for a fact that this was a dope book. Y'all don't forget, we'll do this every Monday. Don't forget, we're gonna do this every Monday. It's Jeff's book corner, something like that. Bantha book corner, something like that. We're gonna name it.
Yeah, we're gonna name
Bantha Book Brigade.
Bantha Book Brigade.
That's a hell of an endorsement right there. That's such a nice comment.
Oh, Frothy, thank you very much.
Frothy says Jeff's gonna make a good dad with his storytelling skills.
And Othea says, Jeff, you'd be amazed how many white people I've met that never heard of that Rosewood or the move bombing in Philadelphia. Yeah,
dude, that last one.
And don't forget about
insane. That was the cops dropping bombs.
Don't forget about when they burned the newspaper down in South Carolina.
Like the National Guard dropping bombs.
Yeah.
I thought it was just the actual police.
But I know Jeff got caught up on something earlier this week.
Tell me what you want to do.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right, guys.
Get that one right there.
When Sheriff John Brown come for you.
That's right. We're talking about the 4th installment in the Bad Boys franchise. Ride or Die. We both talked about this before.
Alex's favorite title for one of the Bad Boys yet.
Yeah, hands down. This is the best title. We talked about this before, how they just kind of missed an opportunity by naming the 3rd movie Bad Boys for Life. It's like, and it was clearly set up a sequel. So you guys were planning on making a 4th one. Why did you just save the Bad Boys for Life for the 4th one? Now I'm trying to Google the movie and it's all confused. I don't know which movie I'm talking about.
It's like Batman Forever. You're going to keep going.
Yeah. That was how you knew, though.
Well, Batman Forever, yes,
now
it just
you
sounds
know
like
we're going forever because the name of this movie is Forever.
Yeah, that seems like they were calling their shot on that. It was like Batman doing this forever.
That was Babe Ruth pointing to the stands.
Right, exactly.
Gotcha.
But yeah, before we get into like the nitty-gritty of the story, let's go around and talk our initial thoughts on this movie. And in tradition, as always, I'm going to ask Nine, what did you think of this movie?
I have not seen it.
Yes. Yeah, that's the tradition. Yep.
I was hoping you hadn't seen
I need
it.
the family. I need a family tradition drop, like country music song.
Oh yeah,
that's what I need. I need a
just like a
family tradition. Every time that shit happens.
Are you interested in watching this at all, Nine, or is that why?
Yeah. My friend said that they wanted to watch it with me, so I may watch it in a couple weeks. I've heard that it's doing pretty well.
Yeah, and even
people
the last
saying it's the renaissance of
hundreds of
Will Smith
millions of dollars.
Yeah, it could be a Will-a-sance, as it were. We can talk. We can get into that a little bit later.
Canceled. He just slapped the nigga on TV.
I mean, you don't necessarily need to get canceled to have a like Matthew McConaughey had the McConaughance. Keanu had the Keanu-sance.
I don't know. 2 years ago, Will Smith won an Oscar, so I don't think there's really refurb it. Like I've been hearing this shit on this narrative on the internet.
Yeah,
like,
I'm just quoting the headlines.
Got an Oscar. I think we need to relax or pull back on that whole narrative.
I mean, this one, he had to go on Hot Ones to promote this one, so might be true.
Oh, I mean, everyone goes on Hot Ones though.
But Will Smith,
they were on everything. They did YouTube channels that I've never seen them. Like I wouldn't have dreamed them doing it before.
Oh shit! Let's get him on.
We wasn't on the media tour. I was very pissed off. But yeah, like Will Smith just didn't get canceled. I mean, he had a bad moment, a really bad moment in front of everybody in the world.
Right.
But like canceled, I just can't say that.
Well, I wouldn't even talk. And
or refurbished.
Will Smith was paused.
Yeah, well, Jeff, I do want to get your initial thoughts on the movie, but if I was gonna call this a Will-a-sance or whatever you want to call it, it wouldn't have anything to do with the slap or anything like that.
I mean, even the bad movies.
Okay, but yeah, like I feel like he has put out a lot of movies that people haven't liked in the past 10 years.
But he fixed that. I guess the Will-a-sance was when he won the Oscar and then slapped the nigga.
But was that a good movie?
You didn't see it.
No, I didn't.
I liked it.
Also, it doesn't matter if it was a good movie. That's outside of the point. The point is this a renaissance of his career? And you're old.
Nah, not really.
We're late off that.
I don't know. I'd say this is as good as probably his best movie ever, After Earth.
Yeah. What did you think?
I thought you were going to say 7 pounds.
What did you think of this one, Jeff?
All right. Better than 3, worse than 1 and 2.
That's the Bad Boys hot take button. Honestly, I kind of feel the same. The first one is still holds a special place in my heart, so that's still my fave. But what about you, Bill? Are you on the same phase? Like, what are your initial thoughts on this?
First of all, I want to say shout out to Movie Files. I watched his review today. My guy, my nigga, you is wrong as hell. I'm not gonna spoil it because I don't, y'all should go check out his list for all of the movies. Check out his list because I think he is wrong.
He did a ranking?
Yeah, he did a ranking. But I think it's a short actually. So go on there.
Out of theater reactions, the only reason I bought a ticket to the movie.
Yeah, his out of theater reactions be wild sometimes because I'll be like, yo, I don't be having the same taste in movies sometimes as him. But this one, he was dead on with, it was a really fun movie. There is nothing, if you can't say nothing good about this movie, you can say at least that it was fun. Like if you can't find the words for this movie, right. Fun is the name for this, but it's also funny. And the action scenes was dope. And like just, we're not spoiling too much, but like that scene in the helicopter scene, which is, it's all this is in the trailer.
Yeah.
But that helicopter scene was bonkers.
Yeah, the helicopter scene was probably the best sequence in the movie.
No, it was the best one with them in it.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're talking about? I think I know.
Yeah, the best sequence was Reggie, hands down, my nigga Reggie.
Oh man, he had
100%
interesting character in this series.
He had the best arc from what was it, episode 2.
Yeah. 2, yeah.
Is Reggie the dude that is taking his daughter out on a date?
Yeah.
That's right.
By the way, same actor, all three.
Same actor.
Yeah, they didn't even keep the wife for all.
I was very upset that they didn't keep the wife.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
Like, what happened, man?
Oh, I think she read the script
for this one.
Yep.
Man, you want to read that from Travis?
Oh, Travis Mitchell says, "How's it going, everyone? Independence Day and Men in Black are my two favorite Will Smith's movies." I'm assuming he says he did a really bizarre one called Collateral Beauty, which I think is his best performance. I haven't seen Collateral Beauty because I read the synopsis on the film and it sounded insane.
Is that the first movie he did?
No, it's this movie that came out in just like sort of this
that white girl time. Was in it, wasn't it?
Oh, that's it. Everyone.
Collateral Beauty.
Helen Mirren.
I don't even remember no white woman really.
Edward Norton, Helen Mirren, Keira Knightley, Kate Winslet. Yeah, Michael Pena.
It reads like a Hallmark movie that's just like written by an insane person. It seems
when a successful New York advertising executive, Will Smith, suffers a great tragedy, he retreats from life. While his concerned friends try desperately to reconnect with him, he seeks answers from the universe by writing letters, I remember this one, to love, time, and death. When his notes bring unexpected personal responses, he begins to understand how these constants interlock in a life fully lived and how even the deepest loss can reveal moments of meaning and beauty.
Right? Doesn't that sound like a Hallmark movie star, Bruce?
That sounds like
that's why I said it's a Lifetime movie. First of all, y'all being disrespectful. And that's why I said,
there's no Christmas involved in this. Clearly it's Lifetime.
That's why I said that this this movie is not the Willisons. The Willisons is the movie he got an Oscar for, because we got a lot of movies like that didn't nobody see. And like people talk shit about Blight. I like Blight.
Oh, Bright.
Is it Bright?
Right.
Oh yeah, that was a really fun one. I think people were talking shit because that was really straight to Netflix. Yeah, but it was fun.
It was really stupid, but it was fun.
Yeah. I mean,
a little too long.
It's a sci-fi movie that was
the world building was pretty shit.
Fantasy.
It was too long. But I didn't dislike the world building. I didn't dislike anything about the movie. It was good. It was good movie.
Yeah, I feel like
my thing about Bright is that it was, all of magic has been introduced into the world like hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, since whatever, but everything is somehow the same.
Well, magic doesn't change anything. Like magic, that's the thing about magic, though. Magic isn't technology. Magic doesn't change a problem or fix problems. Magic is actually not even supposed to be used unless in certain dire situations.
Well, like America is the same, though. You know, like there seems to have been like
still,
like slavery and like
because
all
human
of this
beings
shit.
are inherently afraid of every goddamn thing they can't understand or can't control. People are still racist as a motherfucker. You're not gonna change certain things with magic. As a matter of fact, they got somebody else extra to hate on, which is blue face orc looking niggas. So it's like, why would
that's what I'm saying? Is it's like you got like you have orcs and stuff, but like black people were still enslaved. It just seemed like pretty. It was just weird.
What I'm just saying, what would before black people were enslaved, everybody was enslaved. So I'm saying like we just not gonna change that because we're humans. We're human beings.
Yeah. I will say, Film Age, I think you were trying to look for the word trollos.
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 Yeah,
that's enough.
But to get back to the story of this movie, Bad Boys 4, the premise is when their late policeman captain gets linked to a drug cartel, wisecracking Miami cops Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett. Wisecracking, that just why does that sound racist? Those wisecracking
doesn't sound racist. It just sounds like I don't know. Wow, I don't know any. That's the thing. As
it's a knee slappers.
I would expect a white to be saying that. Not so. That sounds like the first script that was.
I mean, let's be honest. My job on this podcast is basically to be a wisecracking white guy. So
I don't know a white person say wisecracking. Like ever, and you just said it though, so there's my time.
Miami cops Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett embark on a dangerous mission to clear their old captain's name.
I'd say it's more like adolescent cracking, not wise cracking. More like
it's like sophomore.
Yeah.
It's not quite wise.
Not wise.
What did you guys think of the story in this one? Like it's obviously borrowing a lot from. Or continuing a lot from Bad Boys 4 with the storyline with his son. Oh, sorry, Bad Boys 3, Bad Boys 4 Bad Boys Ride 3 Die. You couldn't even put the 3 is the E and Ride. Anyway, but yeah, what did you guys think of like the continuation of like the story with Mike Lowry's son and like the conspiracy with the captain Jeff?
I felt it was. I felt it was a bit convoluted. I'm really usually not a fan of retcons and of the Scream 2, what's his face? Jamie Kennedy taped from the grave. It's just like they're all very tropey and they're all just kind of like, come on, like this is what we're doing. You're telling me Mike and Marcus haven't made enough enemies throughout their careers? We have to bring people back from the dead.
Yeah.
It just felt like a lot. It was a bit of a stretch for me. And it actually has the same issue I had with 3, which was you're going away from what the original movies were. They were a simple issue. Hey, we go after drug dealers. Drug dealers don't like that. Drug dealers try to kill us. And these ones are like, hey, let's find these ginormous criminal conspiracy. Like they're not even doing things that have to do with being a vice cop anymore.
I have to say this is the trailer for the 3rd movie.
Yep, sure is.
I just want to point out
Bad Boys 3 Life, yeah.
See, Jeff, everything you said is why I can never put 2 above 1. Because that's what started all of this.
Yeah.
2 is what started. Hummers flying through huts in Cuba that have people in them, I'm assuming.
They didn't give a shit.
Like that was when it was getting over top. We going to go into international countries and take a nigga from his house. Oh no, blow up his entire shit and kill people and retrieve.
Well, they weren't planning on blowing up everything, but the Hummer driving through houses causes them to explode. You really need to take a structural engineering class.
It's just wild. So I was just like, that's what started. That was what started getting away from like the groundedness of it.
Yeah.
And when we get 3, we get 3 because of the Fast and the Furious people making all this money. And Will's like, hey man, we need to be getting this money. You need to get your ass in the gym, Martin, so we can get this goddamn money.
Yeah, it just my initial thoughts on it. I do feel like I did enjoy this movie. Like as far as like the story, I thought it was pretty cool. Like it's nice and simple. It was convoluted in some points, but I thought it was like nice and simple enough to where you just throw these two characters in a wild situation and they'll make it work, just kind of like the first film. But there to your point about Marcus. Well, I'll just say like that. I feel like Marcus has not been as great as he has been in the first movie. That was his best movie.
100% agree.
It seems like they always give him a fucking weird thing in all the movies. Like in the second one, he was on the Woosaw shit.
The first one and the second one was perfect. His character,
dude,
it was a good arc from his character, though.
I mean, I personally, just don't care for how they try to like. After the first one, they were just like, oh well, Marcus is the weaker of the two, like physically, and I didn't really because like they seem very equally competent. First movie, but it just seems like they always give him a thing.
No, the second one was a perfect progression of a character, especially since you can tell the second one they didn't think that they was going to be making any more of these.
Right?
The second one was like, hey, we getting older. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mike, you out here wilding still. But we getting older. He was about to get with his sister. You see what I'm saying? They trying to pair Mike with somebody that would have that would have then gave him a reason to slow down. They basically did 2 was supposed to be 4, or 4 was. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how they kind of wanted it to go. And when you have the family man, what's he supposed to do? Turn into Mike Lowry all of a sudden? Like his natural progression is being a dad. Getting older, getting a little dad body. You know what I'm saying? That's just it makes sense. But what doesn't make sense is going into the third one where he's basically a bitch.
Yes.
Like that is my problem. Because in 2, he out here busting gas. He's like, I don't need this kind of stress. But he's still busting shots on everybody. Yeah. It's 3 and 4. Well, 4 to me is his. This is the Martin Assance. This is the Lawrence Assance.
Yeah. I think that he was definitely the standout in this movie of the 2. Like I thought he had the funniest lines. There were even a lot of
gonna die.
That was just so silly though.
Dead like about a year and a half ago. People were literally on the internet like, yo, he's bad shape. We gotta pray for our brother, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes during the I guess the press run for the last movie, I heard some people saying that. Jeffrey, were you about to make a point?
How much time was between Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2? Because if it was a long time. Now, Alex, I'd agree with you that the whole Woosaw and that part of Marcus's character arc in Bad Boys 2, if it was within even 4 years of Bad Boys 1, I'd agree. That'd be a little like, that doesn't make sense. But think about all the shit that he's going through next to Mike for as long as he was. I think it absolutely makes sense that eventually, Travis, thank you, 10 years between 1 and 2. So 10 years of that?
I was going to say,
yeah, 8. I think it would absolutely make sense that he's like, all right, I need some help. I gotta, I'm not doing well. And the stress alone, especially having those kids. Yeah, I agree with, I think it actually.
I don't know if people really even stay on Vice for like over 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right?
Like you should probably stop.
That's an exhausting fucking job. Like, yo, I'm moving.
Plus, he got shot in the ass.
He did get shot in the ass by his partner.
Yeah, who be you?
You got shot by this donkey hand ass motherfucker. Get your hooves off me, you bad.
I still think this is the best chase scene in any of the Bad Boys movies.
Oh yeah, this is one of the best chase scenes in movies.
Ever.
Like in movies.
By the way, I rewatched all 3 this week leading up to watching Bad Boys 4. One of my favorite bits of product placement is in this chase scene.
Oh, the Mountain Dew bottle?
Yes, the Mountain Dew bottle. It just pops out from under the car. That was it. It was right there. It was so great.
I watched this scene so many times as a kid that I definitely noticed that after like
chase scenes don't pay for themselves, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
And
a lot of the chase this chase scene is in CGI, and the CGI still holds up. Like you look at a lot of these scenes.
That's really the other button I need. I need a does it hold up button.
But speaking of action,
you're the does it hold up button.
That's true.
Speaking of action,
I gotta say, you definitely see a difference between Michael Bay doing these movies and Michael Bay not doing these movies.
Oh, that is a good point. Let's talk about the action and the cinematography in this movie because
Did Michael Bay do number 3 too?
he did not.
He did 1 and 2.
He did not. Okay.
Yeah,
That's why the action, while big, is still much more restrained than in 3 and 4.
it's grounded.
Yeah, it feels more tangible and what did you guys think of like the action and the way the action was shot in this one? Compared to the third one, and also just overall.
I will say is outside of the grounded area as it could be, it was still pretty grounded. You know what I mean? That helicopter scene is probably the craziest shit that we get.
I mean, like
literally
them holding that rope. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's probably the most like unrealistic type situation you could think of that happens in this movie. But for the most part, everything is just like movie. You know what I mean?
How do you know how to fly a helicopter? I'm a drug dealer.
I'm a drug dealer, fool. Pull to the right, goddamn it. Do what I'm fucking telling your ass to do.
Like one of the things I did, because I mentioned this in like my Bad Boys review I did a couple of years ago. I reviewed all the movies, and I was just like sort of doing a retrospect on how these films progressed compared to other action films. I thought that they had the opportunity to sort of progress like the Lethal Weapon movies or the Fast and Furious movies or even the Mission Impossible movies, where they up the ante in action and also up the ante in like star power. It's like, oh, let's just throw fucking awesome actors who want to be in this movie, because who doesn't want to be in the next Bad Boys movie?
Man, I feel like
right,
Lethal Weapon shouldn't be in that conversation, because I think Lethal Weapon kept it pure.
Well,
they kept it. When we say grounded, we're not going over with the like. There's nothing outside of reality.
No. But
I'm just saying Lethal Weapon, because the other movies that you named, niggas throwing cars out of fucking airplanes and landing on the ground. Like, that's what I'm just saying. So
The Rock steers a torpedo with his hand.
Because I think you mean more Lethal Weapon than like as far as making your point, because of how close it is to what the comp. What?
Well, no. What when I talk about Lethal Weapon, like the star power definitely increased, and the action definitely increased in those movies. You know, they threw Rene Russo, Joe Pesci at those films, and then by the fourth one is when it got to like sort of an almost Fast and Furious apex, where it's like you have Mel Gibson riding a chair in the middle of the 459 freeway, like a piece of plastic, while he's throwing arm legs at cars and stuff, which I thought was awesome. And they still add like Jet Li and stuff like that.
Still actually grounded, like.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that's better comp.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not talking. Yeah, and this is pre CGI. I'm just talking about increasing action, increasing star power, and that's like sort of how you can definitely get the wheels, keep the wheels rolling on these action franchises. And I thought that they definitely upped the ante in the action in this movie. Like, I thought that it was way better than the third one. I don't know what it is, because I think it's the same directors, but it is just like, I feel like it was way more enjoyable.
So Film Age, I agree with you. Lethal Weapon 4 is cartoonish as fuck. But one of the things about this film that Travis actually pointed out earlier is the behind the scenes thing. I think I saw the same one as you, Travis, where they're showing how they got that first person camera angle with the guns. And it was really cool, because what it was a whole rig attached to their entire body. And then the camera's actually mounted on the gun. So that's why when you're pointing, you're seeing the shot coming like you're watching the gun move. But then there's a part where they can like tap it and it flips the camera around. So now the camera's still on the gun, but instead of facing this way from the barrel, it faces this way from the hammer. So it's doing the bird's eye view of the main character, the guy holding the gun. Well, now that was right there. Yes. Now the thing is, this was awesome. This was a really cool thing they did. The problem is they did it so much, they just overused it. There were points where it didn't make sense to use, and it was like, but they kept using it anyway. And it's like, guys, okay, it's cool.
I'll tell you what you got. The vibe that you were getting is that it was stupid, because they only used it in one scene. So if you feel like they used it too much, then that means they shouldn't have even done it.
Well, there was one part in this scene that was amazing, and that's when Mike tosses the gun. So we're getting these close-up views of them and everything. But then when Mike tosses the gun to Marcus and the camera follows that throw and then lands and goes back into that shot, that was awesome. That was a really great cinematic scene.
Yeah, though. I like that shot.
Yep.
You didn't need that camera to do that shot.
No.
And my thing is, I don't think you even like that unless you like first-person shooters.
I hate those.
Because I hate first-person shooters. And I don't think that this looks cool to you, like to the average person. I don't think this looks cool unless that's what you're into. And I think that it would have been better if they used it in a different application, not a first person, like not in a shooting situation scenario, but like give us that angle, give us that shot with a different scenario, not just me, traversing through this small area that you're trying to make look bigger with this fucking shot.
Yeah.
And just give me something where it's tangible.
Right.
Because that didn't feel tangible.
They also did one of the dumbest things that's ever done in action movies. This is not the first time I've seen it, and I've never seen it done well ever. And that's trying to make hacking look fast-paced and actiony.
Oh yeah. Well,
they literally camera here, hand here, and like it's like
I was like,
he's emailing grandma. Who cares?
Well, first off, I do want to just say there is one movie where they make that look cool, and that was Social Network. It's the only time it's ever looked cool. And that's because they had to intersplice it with people like college partying.
That movie was great because of Trent Reznor and that soundtrack.
I'm sorry, it's the part that he like
it's
stopped
the hackers
hack just by
unplugging. It's like, oh yeah,
unplugging the monitor.
Oh yeah,
right. That did it.
Not the computer, mind you.
Just the monitor. We just turned off the screen.
Monitor. Yeah, well, that's where all of the computing power is.
Yeah, I did think that there was some ambitious camera angles and styles. Like I liked a lot of I appreciate the attempts of a lot of the camera stuff.
That's a doesn't hold up term.
Yeah.
I like the ambition.
Yeah, it's very ambitious. But I'm not a big fan of the drone camera shots either. I've seen that happen a lot in action films lately. I've never seen it to the point where it's been done particularly well. This movie is no different.
Drone camera shots should just be for the overhead instead of it replaced the helicopter shot. Now you got the drone shot.
Right.
You know what the funny thing is? There were some gorgeous shots in this movie, and they were usually of the scenery of Miami.
Well, yes.
Like when they show the clouds and it becoming night, that was such a beautiful time-lapse shot. And I think they did it like twice in the beginning movie. I was like, wow, this is actually really good. And then like everything with people, and I was like, wow, this is actually not.
So before we get out of here, I just want to point out that this movie, they rushed the fuck out of this movie, and they wrapped on this movie in Miami in March. So, goddamn,
in March, wow.
They wrapped on this movie. Final shooting was in March.
So, I mean, I haven't seen it yet. So, like, do you think that they were getting the shots with the special effects just out right away and having the? Yeah,
they had to be doing this with the dailies. Like the dailies had to be coming out, and special effects had to be getting rolled out at the same time. And shout out to the 12 people who worked on that, because I know they was just getting they ass cooked.
Right.
But you're dealing with Sony and Will Smith. These motherfuckers was probably getting paid way more than you know what I'm saying? Because this is not a normal thing. Not a normal thing.
No, not at all.
Fast.
Yeah, that's a pretty fast turnaround.
That's a very big cut.
But yeah, y'all should go see the movie. I'm not ruining anything else about it because we end up sitting here talking about this movie.
Can I ask you guys a question about what you think about this right here?
Bring that back up.
This Will Smith surprises fans at Bad Boys Ride or Die. Like he was sitting in the theaters watching it with them.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty awesome.
I'd be so happy if the people in front of him were talking shit about the movie.
That is one thing I can say about our experience. I don't know about you, Jeff, but everybody in the theater was laughing. Everybody in the theater was screaming. Everybody was like, yeah. Like I said with Reggie, they was like, yeah.
Having a good time.
At the end, they was like, you better not take that shit, Reggie.
So,
you better not take
you know
that
what?
shit. So that was funny.
Bill, I think that's great because that reminds me of one thing I wanted to point out about this movie. This is a phenomenal action movie. The reason it's only number 3 in the list is because it's a Bad Boys movie. If this weren't a Bad Boys movie, I'd love it and I'd suggest everyone go see it. It's just that I'm comparing it to 2 of the best action movies ever made. Yeah. I also think a big part of it is Bad Boys and Bad Boys 2 are action comedies, whereas 3 and 4 feel like they're leaning way harder on the comedy. And it's like, just do the exact thing you did twice. That's all I need.
I will agree with that. I will agree with those points. Also, it don't got to be the Mike Lowry show, y'all. Come on, man.
Mm-mm.
But you know what? Can't fix what we've already messed up. That's the problem. Most of the problems with this movie is just extensions from the third movie.
Yes.
So y'all should go out there and check out this movie.
Bad boys, what you want, what you gonna do? When Sheriff John Brown come for you.
You know what he says there? I don't know.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
But right now, we're about to move on to the next joint.
What's up, Buddha Cafe?
Do you want to talk Star Wars first?
Buddha Cafe. Should we talk Star Wars or Acolyte? I mean, excuse me,
Star Wars
or Dark Matter.
I feel like Star Wars is going to take longer because we got 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Which one did you not see, Nine?
I have not seen Dark Matter. So, I mean, you guys can go off on Dark Matter. I'm chilling.
It's not that show's not quite as much to talk about since we've been deep diving on it.
We have been deep diving.
But I got a theory. I got some theories, boy.
Okay, theory time. This so we got some comments. Travis says, imagine had Reggie been there, the one who rescued Grogu from the temple.
Oh man, that would have been fucking awesome.
Can I ask the panel, is the Force female?
According to the cartoons, I think the Force is a real old dude, but the light side's female.
I think it's like
the
Trinity. It's like the male, the female, and
there's the dad who's the Force, and then he's got a son who's the dark side and a daughter who's the light side.
Right. Well, you know what? Let's talk about Dark Matter.
Dark Matter, or
we're gonna talk about Dark Matter.
Okay.
Because I know it sounded like I was about to go for
it sure did.
The wrong. Let's talk. Oh, yes, the snap.
Which dimension are we in?
We're talking about Dark Matter episode 6. This episode is a pretty crazy one. I mean, this whole series has been kind of crazy. But what happens in this one, he said, as he tried to pull up the synopsis. But let's just go around and talk initial thoughts, because this is the episode where Jennifer Connelly's character Daniela starts to get really suspicious of Jason Todd, aka Dick Jason, aka Jason 2. Jeff, what did you think of this episode? What were your initial thoughts?
It was a good one. Honestly, I'm liking that the mystery is starting to get solved. I will say I'm very happy about something, and it is that I have kept forgetting to do this every episode since this show started, but I finally wore this shirt today, and it's this shirt. I have a Schrodinger cat shirt.
Yeah. That is amazing.
Amazing.
Every time we start doing the podcast, we like you guys are announcing like, okay, we're gonna start talking about Dark Matter. I'm like, son of a bitch. Anyway, I liked it. I like that things are starting to get figured out. I like that we're also getting a bit of a sense of urgency. Seeing them with just the dwindling vials. I think at one point they only had, or ampules, I think they called them. They only had like 8 left or something. We see Dick Jason starting to really things are closing in. He's starting to get erratic as shit. And I think that's going to end up with some really good escalations, confrontations. So it's funny because it's another setup episode. It feels like the entire show's set up for the finale. But this is the first one where I was like, okay, I'm enjoying the setup, you know?
Yeah. And I've been basically feeling like that's what we was going to get to. Anybody who's not quite been 100% on board yet, that's how I've been seeing it like go down or play out. People are gravitating towards this show. Like more and more people, I've been even hearing people talk about it. It's like people are gravitating towards this show. People also don't know what the fuck going on.
Yeah.
Because most people don't read and whatnot. So, you know, people don't know the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't need to read. They just got to come over here and listen to the podcast.
That's all you got to do. We will do it so you don't have to. It's like we're curating. You know what I'm saying? We the taste testers.
Do you know how many episodes this is going to be?
9.
9. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's 9 episodes.
You know,
And to your point, Bill, it is number 10 on the most popular searched sci-fi shows on Google right now. So
there you go. And we know there's a lot of sci-fi shows right now. So we're talking about top 10s. Top 10.
Yeah.
What's number like? What's the top 3 on that? Just curious.
Man, we don't have a list. God damn.
Yeah, when I press
This
button,
one
it does not say. You know what? I'll give you an answer in a bit. But I will say that I am enjoying the series. I am enjoying the series so far too. Again, like it's a little slow moving. I appreciate how slow it is with the emotional moments. Like I really liked the moments between Jason 1 and Amanda in this episode.
Yes.
And just like the visual storytelling of just how complicated it all is. Like you don't have to have someone say, I'm so attracted to you, but I'm married, and all this stuff is so confusing. Like, they don't really have to say
Alice.
yeah, I don't know why I turned into like dude from It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh gosh. What are you doing? You know I'm married.
Your universe isn't here. It's in Bob's house and Phil's house. But I did, I just like the moments between them. There's a lot of really great visual storytelling with their relationship, and also hints at maybe some hidden agendas between certain characters and why things aren't really going the way they should. And let's talk about that a little bit. Just like the Amanda,
I don't like Amanda.
Yeah, you mentioned before. Yeah, that
told y'all last week. This bitch is the problem.
Yeah.
Like leave that bitch somewhere else. Take her to Ryan's universe where he at now and just leave that bitch. But you know what? I'm glad that he's not doing it. Just not our Jason. Our Jason don't get down like that.
Yeah. After all, he is the Jasonist Jason.
Is he? Is he?
He might be.
I mean, it would.
He usurped it from Jason and the Argonauts before he was the most Jasonist Jason. And I got a brother named Jason, so I mean, I'm saying
he's the former expert on Jason's everything. Jason,
official Jason expert.
Jason 1 wouldn't do nobody like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Which lets us know that he is the Jasonist Jason, and it goes to say, if he's the Jasonist Jason, this is the Dahlia's
Dahlia Spartan? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, Danielle.
Yeah, Daniela's Dahlia. I think she's somewhere up there. But like Jeff was saying, things are getting a bit out of hand, falling off the rails, as they say. And we got like the most uncomfortable moment to me in this show so far is Dahlia and him. Is Dahlia?
Daniela?
Daniela.
Is it Daniela?
Wait, no. Amanda's with Jason 1.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. Anyway,
wife Daniela.
So yeah,
other universe girlfriend Amanda.
Right. So Daniela goes out to dinner with Jason Todd, and Jason Todd takes her to the art gallery to show her the painting that he stole. He stole and put it up in front of all of her colleagues and friends.
Yeah.
An unfinished painting that a person who hasn't painted for 15 years just all of a sudden started back doing it because you forced her to do it. Yo, and made her wear an ugly ass dress that she said she didn't like, but it wasn't ugly. It was the same dress she was wearing in the first episode or the second episode when he ends up seeing her, meeting her.
It was in Dick Universe when she has a gallery opening.
Yeah, I think it was the same one when she has the gallery opening. I think she's wearing the same dress. She's just wearing a coat.
I don't remember.
I was looking at screenshots earlier today. They are a little different because the one she wore in this episode had this weird triangle thing, and the other one had it had a different cut where it was like more flowy. Guys, check us out on our fashion podcast every Sunday at 5:00.
She's darn near wearing something similar here. She's like every time we see her in a art gallery, she's wearing something with her shoulders out black.
Yeah, and I feel like that this Danielle is just like more conservative. Like she doesn't dress up like that anymore. She doesn't go.
Sorry, you mean Daniela Prime?
Yeah, Daniela Prime.
Yeah, Daniela Prime. Daniela 1.
Well, just because the one we had on screen I felt was different. I did not think she was conservative. The blonde Daniela, I was like, no.
Right. Yeah. We do need to clarify. You damn right.
Yeah, she was in between where she's like making she's obviously making a career in.
I remember her. She was a hoe for show.
Crazy is every single time I think a blonde is attractive is literally they're not blonde.
Was that a 40-year-old virgin reference?
It sure was.
Okay.
Hey man, this is the only safe place for 40-year-old virgin references anymore. This is the small corner of the internet where nobody gives a shit about you making weird references.
You can only watch 40-year-old virgin on the dark web.
You gotta watch it in your room with a blanket over your body at night.
In your blanket.
Never see Steve Carell the same way again.
Seriously.
I feel like and it was just so interesting too because like he's trying to get Daniela Prime back into the painting and everything because he wants to be married to her, but he wants her to be the one that he remembered, the one from he wants to be married to the Daniela from his universe. This isn't her, but he's trying to like make her into that. But then it was also just so interesting the way he goes about it. It wasn't finished. The painting wasn't finished. The gallery was for a charity event. Like everything he could have done, he did so wrong. And the more interesting point is he thinks he's so smart. He could have done such simple research, even with their son and the nuts. You're telling me there's nothing in the house that's like, hey, here's a medical form showing our son will die if he has a peanut.
These nuts.
You can't have these nuts. They're bad for you, Charlie.
Now hold on. I want to play a clip because speaking to what Jeff was just saying, I don't think that it's that he thinks that this version of her is like or not like his original version. I think that he doesn't even know who he's trying to like. He didn't see his original version for 15 years before he walked up on her. 15 years before he walked up on her. I don't think he knows who anyone is. He's in love with an ideal, not a person. Exactly. He doesn't care because this little moment here told me like a lot about what he's thinking.
When he's being a good husband, I agree.
Let her know her place.
What did he say? Where is it when he says it?
Where everyone knows me. And not only was that painting bad, it wasn't even finished.
That painting is good.
And it's private. And
I don't see why people can't see it.
Because I haven't painted in years. How could you even think it would be okay?
Oh, here it is.
You're just not the person I thought you were. I didn't mean that like that. I didn't.
And see, he absolutely meant it like that. He's just
like, I just didn't mean to say that.
He's like, I just didn't
mean for you to hear that.
I didn't think you could hear me.
Yeah.
When I was saying,
in what universe would that be okay?
Tell you what, he can find one.
Hey,
That's exactly what he was thinking.
I'm glad that Nine put it that way, framed it that way, because I think that this is proof positive that he's been to probably 100 something universes.
Yeah, he said he's used the ampules over 100 times.
Yeah, but that doesn't, because we do know he's gone back and forth between his and theirs as well, because I rewatched all the episodes because I was like, yo, something's up and we're missing something, because it feels like we don't know nothing. And I was like, no, we're missing something. So like when he kidnaps Jason 1, we were questioning, like, how did he send him back? And he didn't, like, how he just threw him in there and the nigga just popped out where it was supposed to be. Like, how did that happen? Well, I went back and rewatched it, and Jason Todd has shot himself when Jason 1 wakes up. He's like, why are you doing this to me? He's sitting on the ground kind of out of it too, because he's holding his arm like this. So that tells me that they went back through together, and he has also been lying about everything. He told Leighton 1 that it was theoretical that he could go back and get many of the ampules, but because if he's gone over 100 times, then he's used more than 50 ampules.
Yeah.
In most cases, only have 50.
Exactly. So you only got 50. So how is it that you only, and we saw him with more ampules in his storage in episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got way more shit than he is even leading on to. And he's lying to every single person, but we don't know what's not a lie.
Well,
we don't know what's not true.
I got a quick question.
Good, because I ran out of
Loki's situation.
I think that is a very
Yes and no.
it's a very grounded Loki situation. It's like
if you
Loki
go to
with no magic.
If you go to the intro, if you pull up the intro to this like episode, like how they, what do you call it, the intro theme music
opening
thing,
titles, or title credits,
and we'll see there have different
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that we don't know.
They have
We
different.
assume.
I think Jason 1's in the back.
He's one of these.
So Jason 1, if we want to get into that kind of bullshit, Jason 1's the one with his hand on her shoulder. But anyway, but there is a bunch of figurines in the opening credits, opening title, that all signify Jason and how many Jasons are there, and Jason's getting further and further apart and getting together, and like it's crazy how they like that you can gather things from the title credits. But I think this is a situation where every Jason wants the same woman. Every Jason's looking for the same type of life.
Right. And it's interesting because that you say that, because like I feel like the Jason's romantic motivations are like very prominent throughout this show, because we have allusions to him having or not allusions. They allude to the fact that he had a romantic relationship with Daniela's friend, the black, strikingly beautiful
Blair. Jason Todd.
Yeah, Jason Todd.
Yeah, Jason Todd was slapping them cheeks.
Yeah, Jason Todd with Blair, and then Daniela and Amanda. Like, they're all very important paramours in his life, and it's interesting because I feel like his relationship with Daniela, at least like Jason Todd, with this moment in this car, which, by the way, A+ acting by Jennifer Connelly in this scene. Like,
holy crap, right?
Fantastic.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you guys what you guys thought about Jennifer Connelly in this series. Is she knocking it out or what?
Yeah,
she's killing it. I mean, she has stolen basically every scene. And then what's his name that plays Ryan? He's
Jimmy Simpson.
He's a scene stealer too. Shout out to Jimmy Simpson, friend of the show, man. He used to come through my old job all the time. He was all.
So it's funny because in the first episode with Jennifer Connelly, you're like, she's just kind of like a boring housewife type character. And then they're just like, nope, she is the most important part in every universe she's in. That's the other thing is and that's one of the great things about a show like this. She has to play the same character in different ways. It's amazing how she does it. And I'm sorry, you said the other one was Jimmy Simpson?
Yeah, Jimmy
That might be a little bit of a theme tonight, actually.
All right. Sure might. It sure might. But Jimmy Simpson, I'm also very, very impressed with and very happy to see him get a dramatic role. I mean, it's Always Sunny, side characters in all these movies. He's and TV shows. He's always laying it on thick with the comedy. So I think it's really great to see him have a role like this.
Last time I saw him in something serious, I think was House of Cards.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Black Mirror.
I don't watch that show really. So
there is a Star Trek episode that he's in. Fucked up.
I've heard that episode's great. I still haven't watched it.
The problem with Dark Matter for me is I'm a regular TV person. So if you have a bunch of
Dark Matter or Black Mirror?
Black Mirror, excuse me. If you've got a bunch of different shows on one TV show, then you're not gonna get me to come back.
Oh, you're not a fan of the anthology stuff.
You're not gonna get me to come back because I'm like, I have no investment.
Yeah.
Bill's like there is no spoon.
I would say the first time I watched Dark Matter, I didn't know it was an anthology serise. So there's like the first.
You said it too.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Black Mirror.
You said Dark Matter too.
Oh, sorry, Black Matter. The first time
matters.
The first time I watched Dark Mirror, I watched this episode and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty interesting. Let me watch the next episode." And then, like 15 minutes into the second episode, I was like, "Wait, how is this a continuation of what?
Isn't
like a 30-year jump? 100?
Isn't the first episode when he's fucking the pig?
Yeah, and then the second episode, Daniel Kaluuya,
Which is real.
American Idol episode.
Yep.
I was racking my brain trying to make those connections.
By the way, that's the TV show we didn't know we needed is the Prime Minister. What happens to the Prime Minister after he fucks the pig?
Right? I wanted to see the second episode.
They actually live a very happy life together.
That was based on real life, by the way. That was based on
actually, yeah.
No, they predicted real life.
No, I'm pretty positive that happened.
No. There's a rumor that happened. It's like the Richard Gere
rumor. First of all, it's not a rumor. It had been going around since like 2004, 2006 that this dude fucked a pig.
Yeah.
Athelius Maximus says in the chat, I thought none of them were connected. They aren't connected. I just thought they were because I'm a dumb.
There's one that is. Also, do you know why
about how they're all connected? But yeah.
Do you also know why? This is a fun little sidetrack. Do you know why they're like the joke about the Irish being sheep fuckers?
Where'd that come from?
Pig fuckers. There's this joke. There's this whole urban legend about this guy fucking the pig.
Yeah. And
it's an old like joke that like, oh, the Irish are sheep fuckers. But the reason why that came to be is because way back when stealing someone's sheep, you could be put to death. But fucking someone's sheep, everyone in town just made fun of you. So if you're stealing someone's sheep and like the constable shows up, you just drop your pants and be like, no, I was trying to fuck it. Okay, have a good one, guys.
Well, that's almost. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah.
Should I hit the? I'm gonna just hit this one.
Why you calling me? I'm right.
That is interesting.
That's the only thing I can do for
curious. Guys in the chat, let me know what's the highest level of. Would you trade shame for incarceration? Like, would you be like,
no? They put you to death.
Oh, put you to death. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. How much shame would you endure?
Well, I mean, like,
I'm right.
I think what really matters there is like how good does that sheep look?
Yeah,
got a reputation to protect.
You have to prove. Actually, I don't want to go into that. That's going to become a whole new podcast.
No, you don't.
But since you did bring up Jimmy Simpson,
Dark Matter.
Yeah, these matters are dark for sure. But yeah, let's talk about Jimmy Simpson. Since we talked about him before, you guys were talking about dramatic roles he did before. I gotta bring up Westworld. He was Bill.
Oh right.
He was great on that.
call.
But what did you think of the way that him and Dick Jason's relationship turned out in this one? Yeah, Jason Todd, Dick Jason.
Dick Jason doesn't work.
Yeah, it
I've
does.
been calling him the entire time. You remember we went off on a Dick Tracy tangent last week because of it?
We haven't said Dick Jason since like
I said
episode 2.
I said at the top of this episode. I didn't know.
So anyway,
that's not important. What do you guys think of what happened between the two in this in this episode? Jeff, I'll let you go first.
How did he not see it coming? It was so obvious what he was doing to you. And then you're just like in awe of it. And which, don't get me wrong, I get that too. You're literally high and traveling the multiverse. I get that.
Yeah.
But like he was, the second you knew he wasn't your Jason, don't take your eyes off him. Like that was just kind of an obvious one.
So that's my question. When do you think he realized this wasn't his Jason? Because I felt like he realized it when we realized he realized it.
Yeah. Oh, no, I agree. Yeah. I mean, like he says it when he steps out of the box, right?
No,
only when
Go ahead.
Yeah, he only says it after Jason 2 says something about like how there are a lot of Ryans. And then he you can see him sort of formulating his brain like, oh, wait, what?
Now I will say this: them being scientists and like quantum mechanics, these motherfuckers are pretty goddamn stupid. In like Ryan 1 and Jason 1, they dumb as hell.
Yeah.
Well, Jason 1 was attacked and knocked out. Ryan 1 walked willingly.
No. I meant so Jason 1 is stupid because it took him 3 episodes to figure out what's going on.
Oh, yes.
So he's dumb, right?
Yes,
put him
correct.
On the board. Put him on the dummy board. Boom. Dunce cap. Put him in the corner. Then Ryan, we found out he's dumb as hell as well. Because he hasn't even figured out how to make his shit work yet.
Yeah.
But two, he knows all the shit that Jason had theorized and worked on. That's why he wanted him to work with him. So why isn't none of this computing? Like, I understand why they did it because it's a method to catch us up with, or, like mansplain exposition to the audience. Like, how does this work? But it doesn't make sense for them to have to be the ones that get it explained to them because this is what they do. I just felt like, man, that was just, it's just been bothering me a lot. Like, motherfucker, go on. Goddamn. Okay, let's move it along. Shit.
The only excuse for Ryan's dumbness that I can think of is just scientific curiosity, which I get that. I mean, this is every universe's Nobel,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Yes. And
go
I will say this.
You go on any box and win the Nobel Prize.
Yeah, right? You just walk out and you're like, yep, come on, give it.
Give it to me.
Nope, shut up. Yep, okay. Now, I will say this about this whole getting stranded on this. I will say at least it's funny because Dick Jason Todd is still trying. You could tell it's one of those, they say a villain always thinks they're a hero in their own story.
Right.
Or a villain is always a hero. And you can clearly tell he still thinks he's a hero because he's like, it's the world. I thought, what would be a world my friend would love? So at least I'm kicking you out there, buddy. I'm not leaving you off in the desert or anything. It's
I think
so nice of me.
was one of the few times we've heard Jason Todd actually tell the truth in this show.
Yes.
Because I think really
he wasn't doing it for Ryan. He was doing it for himself in his own conscience.
Yeah, no, he was doing it for himself, but he did what I'm talking about when he said, I thought of a place that my friend would like to go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only time we've heard him tell the truth, really. Yeah.
And by the way, how come no one goes to a universe where you can just get superpowers? That would be my first fucking stop.
Just walk into the atmosphere and have superpowers. It's like,
yeah.
Right? These guys are, I know all of your thoughts.
Yeah, these guys are all nerds. Surely they're thinking about having superpowers.
You're telling me you don't go and you hang out with Nightwing. Nightwing too. You don't go and hang out with Nightcrawler for just like, hey, I'm gonna have a quick week with Kurt. We're gonna pal around
with Kurt. Chelsea said in the chat, no lie, I would listen to Bill call anyone a dumbass and agree. Yeah,
thank you. Thank you.
Speaking of, check out the Bantha Bunch on Thursday.
Yeah, check me out on Thursday. Bantha Bunch, 7 p.m. Pacific time. I'm calling all kind of people dumbass.
That's pretty much that's the description of every week's episode.
I might do top 10 dumbasses next week. Me and Red Foreman.
But speaking of Bill, you did mention something off pod that I thought was interesting. I'm curious how you felt about this, Jeff.
Wait a minute, what you been to say?
We're talking about the show. We're talking about Dark Matter.
Okay.
It's, when you had a bunch of prunes, and then you went and you made some dark matter.
Oh yeah. Man, let me tell you something. It's been a wild week of Dark Matter.
But yeah, you did
Bantha Bunch Thursdays.
It's Bantha Bunch on Thursdays. Yeah.
You did mention the potentiality of Jimmy Simpson's character Ryan coming back. Like now that he's in this world, they did an interesting, like comparing Jason's interaction with Leighton and how he explained the box. He explained it a little bit more thoroughly, just like the ins and outs of everything. To Jimmy Simpson, I didn't,
because he knew he was about to leave his ass. That's how I knew he was about to leave his ass. I'm like, oh, he telling us new stuff.
But to your point, or to your theory of pod, Jeff, I'm curious how you feel about this. Do you think that Ryan might be able to find his version of a Jason, create his own box, and make his way back?
He can find this is what I said. This is what I said.
Hmm.
He find a version of himself.
Right.
Then find their version of their Jason, and they all three build a box.
Huh. So here's where it become a couple questions appear here. The first one being, would they even need to? The box already exists.
Well, yeah.
And I think a part of it is, I think after one box was created, all the boxes existed everywhere. And it comes down to the same way they travel within the boxes, which is by knowing what they're doing and knowing how to navigate it. I think that no one, we'll call this one, Ryan is in the best universe. I don't think anyone in the best universe would know about the box, but I think since Ryan Prime already knew about the box, he would know it's there. And I think there's also a part where if you're not aware of the box and you're not, and it hasn't been explained to you, or you haven't traveled through it, I think the box still exists in your universe, but you can't perceive it. Because remember, the entire point of the box and the hallway and all of it is just to make the quantum state understandable to a human brain. Well, so that means it's always there.
Nope. See, this is the thing. This is the thing. This is where Schrodinger's cat comes into place. Okay. The box doesn't exist until you see, like, the cat is not dead or alive until you open the box.
It needs the observer, yeah.
But this box, it exists and also doesn't exist at the same time, not till someone goes through the box, right? So, because now this is my theory. I think that Jason Todd was going through all mad dimensions, testing shit out. He's trial and errored everything. I think he's been killing a lot of the Jasons and killing some other Ryans, because with the first episode, he has a bunch of cell phones and he also has a bunch of cash, which tells you that he's lying to everybody when he says that you can't use cash over there. You gotta just trust me, because why do you have it? And where are you getting the money that you have been spending from? Because he has been spending money that Jason 1 did not have.
Even if he's even just holding on to a storage unit that size with access to power for that long is expensive.
Exactly. And he's been missing for 14 months. We don't know exactly how time works dimension to dimension. So I think that this dude.
We do know. He said the box is always in the same physical space and time. So that means the time is moving.
It's all the same.
It would have
all in the same period of time, but things don't happen all of the same. So, like,
correct.
Ryan 1 had not yet come up with the compound completely. And so my theory is that the reason, so you got to ask yourself, why did Jason Todd choose this universe? We know now it's not just because of the family situation. He could have gone to a lot of universes and been with the same woman, right? This is the thing. I think this is the universe in which the only universe where 2 boxes were going to be created. I think that he was the only.
Hey, real quick, Bill. I'm sorry, real quick. I think there's some music you got to put on right now.
Oh yeah, you know what? You are right.
There you go.
You see, because this is the good part. You see, because this Jason Todd, he's the Jason thinking that the Jason is the only Jason that could make a box. But then he gets paranoid. He finds out a lot of these niggas doing the same shit that I was doing. So you know what happens? He starts killing Jasons. But then he says, this is crazy. I'm killing these Jasons. This is hard. I'm not a killer. Sorry. So he says, I'm going to kidnap the one that I want to live his life. The one that's actually going to create the box. The one that is going to have the 2-box problem. 2-box solution, right? But guess what? He tries to stop it from happening. But he sends Ryan back to the other universe. And it still happens because you can't stop a moment. What do they call it?
Yeah, I forgot what it was called.
Damn, they call it a Nexus event in Marvel.
But in 97 they called X-Men 97 they called the Genosha event
a fixed moment in time.
Yeah,
where it can't not happen. No matter what you do, there's these small events that have to happen, and you can't avoid it. And I think that is what he was trying to prevent, but he can't prevent it because it's always going to happen. He was always going to build his box, and Jason 1 was always going to end up building his because Ryan won the Nobel Prize or the little prize that he won, and then Ryan offered him the job, and he was more likely going to take it because of how shitty he felt about how his life was going.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, his wife was encouraging. She was like, "Yeah, let's move. Let's do this.
Do this shit. Tired of this motherfucking brownstone."
So, okay.
You talking about moving from Chicago?
Especially in Chicago.
Talking about moving from Chicago to LA. I mean, come on now.
Yeah. But let's talk about the before we get out of here. Let's go on to the next subject. Let's talk about that. Yes. Let's talk about that last scene.
That's what I wanted to bring up.
That Jason has cemented off the box so no one will be able to travel from any other universes into the Prime universe, so he can just keep doing his hood rat shit with his friends. How did you feel about this, Jeff? Do you feel like this is like there's no way of traversing back to this universe unless someone on this side intervenes, or do you think
his whole thing was basically let's nail some boards over the door. It's just and I get it, like he went to extreme lengths. I mean, that was some concrete. I wouldn't say it was thick. It doesn't even look like a foot of space between there, but we're left with a giant concrete slab. So the theory is like, of course they can't open it, but you're dealing with the quantum realm and you're dealing with quantum energies and quantum phases. I don't see the box abiding that because it would create a paradox. If the box is in every dimension and the box is created in all of this, then how can you just seal off the box? It just I don't know if it's just going to be like the cement crumbles off. I don't know. I think that actually that leads to, Bill, what you were saying really well, the idea of the second box. Because if you're destroying one, the multiverse won't abide. I don't think it's going to work. And I think that Bill's solution to that is so elegant.
Thank you.
Is there a universe where Al Gore is president?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, you mean still?
For all mankind.
Yeah. Yeah, right. That's probably the one you want to
I mean, shit, there's a universe he can walk into where everyone's a cartoon character.
Oh shit.
There's a universe where he's one of the bad boys.
I don't even know how that happened.
I'll tell you how it happened. Quantum entanglement.
Yeah, like I'm curious how they're gonna. I'm curious how they're gonna tackle these situations, because we have 4 more episodes, or no, 3 more episodes.
That's right.
Of the show. So there's still some story to be told. But I'm curious how Jason 1 is gonna make it back to his universe, because there's no way that that's like the end.
It is.
And it's just 3 more episodes.
It's concrete. Go get it's concrete. Go get a pickaxe, a sandwich, and come back. And then fucking handle business. You know?
I just see the camera pulling out from the concrete, and he's just saying all the same things as Milton in Office Space. I haven't got my page. You took my stapler, and they're not supposed to be down here.
We've definitely confirmed that Jason Todd is the bad boy of
bad boy.
I'm just gonna get that off, like probably for the next year. Probably for
we can probably keep using it for the rest of this month, because just so you guys know, we're going to be covering the new season of The Boys next week on the podcast. So and they're most of the people on that show are bad. I feel like we can still keep using them.
Tell you what, they're not good.
Button over here. I have to move the button over here. My arms are gonna be sore from that episode. From them episodes, I'm just be bam, bam.
Bill's got to get a new board because it just wears it out.
Yeah. Does the drunk Banthas have health insurance?
Yeah, we haven't made it there yet.
Shit.
But
you know how you could tell you don't? He had to get his own sling.
Yeah. You know what? You know what? That's right.
But guys, if you want to see this channel and the NerdsAtNite channel grow, just like and subscribe.
Please.
Those little buttons.
We didn't even say it till dead ass an hour and 28 minutes into this video.
We're not trying to pressure you. This is a safe space.
But do it.
But do it. But please do it.
If you want to.
Because if you don't, then YouTube will not give me money, and then they will take my children away from me.
That is true. We signed a very obscure contract. We didn't really read it until after.
It says if you don't have 7,000 subscribers at minimum, we will take your children away.
I've seen the letters.
By Independence Day.
I've seen the letters all cut out from magazines. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, should you sign a contract that looks like a ransom notice? But we are clicking over to our final subject.
Oh shit! One last thing. There was a snap.
Oh yeah, actually that's true.
There was a snap that snapped that wasn't a snap. Remember? There was a hold on. Remember, this is when they make this noise when things transition to between universes.
Right.
We heard a snap, and they didn't change universes.
Was that the one when we see Jason Prime with Amanda, and then we hear the snap, but it's them again? I was so confused.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, so I don't think that a TV show this convoluted has a continuity error like that.
Yeah.
I think that's just more proof towards there being more Jasons that were close to building their second box, unknowingly building a second box.
Yeah.
And that's why this Jason that's why he chose this one. I don't know if he even knows that there are many of them that do the same, that could come up to that possibility, but he always had it in his mind that he was probably going to have to seal it up.
Yeah.
So like that, no, you're not just thinking about that like, oh, I'm going to have to put concrete on this bitch. Like,
yeah. And to your point, like we've been talking about throughout this series, there are infinite possibilities for this Jason, and it's kind of crazy to think that there's only like 2 or 3 Jasons that have figured out how to traverse the multiverse. So there's probably a whole nother Jason out there that's doing the same thing with this Amanda, but just like in a different way. And we're gonna see how their stories converge with the characters.
I didn't need no music for that one because that actually happened. You know
Yeah,
I'm like,
and it makes sense that there's multiple Jasons that can just bust a box.
Popping them boxes.
Is my dick in a box?
Finger popping, finger popping, finger popping. That's my new song. It's coming.
Maybe we need to get Dick Jason in a box t-shirts. Let me know in the comments if there's a Dick
Who's
Jason.
gonna do the animation for that?
Hey, sending text messages to Noah furiously.
Yeah, seriously. Anybody got an animator out there? We need some goddamn illustrators. Come on now, because we got these ideas.
Why furiously though?
But we're gonna snap over to our final discussion of the night.
Yeah. We're not afraid to reuse puns over here. God damn it!
Yeah. Oh man, we use the same joke every opening of the episode.
Mostly,
we mostly drunk.
We mostly use the same joke.
We were talking about Star Wars, the new Star Wars Disney Plus TV show, The Acolyte, episodes 1 and 2. Let's talk about.
Not everyone agrees with that.
I figured that was applause for my excellent pronunciation.
Yeah, it was great.
Let's talk about initial thoughts before we like get into the nitty gritty, just like how you guys felt about the first 2 episodes, and also while I go pee real quick. Jeffrey, what do you think?
Initial thoughts. It's weird. The action parts aren't like good action. I mean, they're okay, but like it's just like this wouldn't make sense in the Star Wars universe. And then the scenes where they're trying to like build character development and stuff are just kind of so far this show is just there. I'm real worried we got another Ahsoka on our hands, which if that's the case, #kill Sabine.
I don't think
that's very interesting.
I don't think we have an Ahsoka situation on our hands here. Yeah, I think it's very interesting. I'm glad you had that theory there because that viewpoint, because I had a completely different viewpoint. I thought this show was on point so far, so good. I have been very critical of Star Wars television shows specifically. Well, actually, you know what? All Star Wars, everything for the last 15 years. And it's because it's been crazy the last 15 years. I know it don't seem like it's been that long, but it has. Phil May says the Acolyte, a show I'm not watching because I wanted to get y'all's take. Hey man, that's what we told you, y'all. We here for y'all, just in case y'all didn't know. Othelia said, I'm feeling it so far. So he's on board with the yays. But yeah, I just before we get all deep into it, I really liked it. Enjoyed myself. Sorry, I lost my voice this weekend hosting the 4th annual horse tournament.
Okay.
Basketball horse basketball tournament.
We've been talking about lots of livestock today. Just wanted to make sure.
Well, I'm just
wasn't another one of those
situations for my weak throat. But yeah, I thought that the show was fucking amazing. I thought it was great. Loved everything about it. I've heard a lot of the hate. I'm ready and prepared with notes, baby. Alex, how did you feel about this one right here?
I'm enjoying the series so far. I've there are like a couple of like little nitpicks about like cinematography. Like I feel like some of the scenes are shot a little flat. Except for the action scenes, I feel like the action sequences are really interestingly shot. I'm really digging the way they're leading into the kung fu nature of the action, especially the crouching tiger, hidden dragon aspect of it, because I feel like that's just kind of a no brainer. That the Jedi will be able to move around, kind of like the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon
Move around. They can move around.
Action sequences because they have actual power to move that way. So I thought that was a really creative way to incorporate that old style into this series and make it make sense. On the whole, I'm really enjoying it. There's some minor nitpicks, but I'm curious how it's gonna unfold.
9, how are you feeling, man? How you feeling?
I haven't seen it. No, I'm just kidding. It's like, wait, why the fuck are you here then?
Oh no, I know why you're here, but it was
to hang out with you guys.
My question would have been.
I'm glad you asked.
My question would have been, you this weekend? That was gonna be my question.
What did I do this weekend?
What did you do this weekend?
I liked it. I gotta say that I like it, and I'm actually surprised that Jeff, you didn't like it.
Very
because of the reasons that you brought up.
It's not that I dislike it; it's that I'm cautious because I feel like it's not as good as it could be.
Mm-hmm.
And just after Ahsoka, I'm so worried about another Star Wars show. So I'm being very, very cautious, especially with we only got these 2 episodes out.
Right.
Honestly, a lot of it for me was there's just parts where it's like that makes no effing sense.
Well,
a Jedi can't hold something and then also like sense another thing and lightsaber up. Come on.
Well, go ahead now. Go ahead because you were about to say something.
Well, I guess it's the one thing when you said what was it? The fight scenes? You weren't feeling the fight scenes?
What I meant was they don't make sense in the sense of like, I mean, like that one that I'm talking about, like, I don't want to spoil anything, but I mean, like, this shouldn't have ended the way it did. It was great until the ending.
What do you mean, no spoil? We're spoiling.
Yeah, we're spoiling.
All right, fine. Okay, good.
Carrie-Ann Moss.
So here's the thing. Carrie-Ann Moss getting the dagger to the heart. She's a Jedi. She didn't need to be looking at this one. First off, she didn't need to be looking at the one she was holding. And second off, even if she was, she's got the Force. She would have more than been able to sense and deflect the dagger. That's the part where I'm just like, no, that's bullshit. I'm not buying it.
I think that depends on your how skilled you are at the Force. Because
she's a Jedi Master.
This girl also
my voice got really high pitched.
This girl is using the Force. She threw this Jedi Master into the wall previously before that.
Okay.
So I think that goes to show that definitely this could happen because she already has proven to us that she's at least on par with her Force pushing.
This makes sense to me.
Doesn't to me.
But also,
they also telegraphed it. You knew she was about to throw it and then attack you.
But
you don't prepare.
Also, your doubts and worries should be alleviated because they did kill Sabine. See, if this show was going, I did like this. If this show was going to be like Ahsoka, then Trinity.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I'll give you. You know what? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because honestly, when that moment happened, I think like when we were watching it together, you were like, "It's crazy that like Sabine didn't die from a fatal wound and with a lightsaber, and she dies." I was like, "I'm glad that this happened because if you get stabbed in the heart, you should fucking die."
I was happy that it happened, but I was just like, "Look at this!" Right,
like if you compare it to the other shows,
absolutely, in the big less than 10 minutes into the show, 5 minutes into the show, we've already set ourselves all the way apart. There's already high stakes. We got this random ass girl coming in here murking goddamn Jedi. Look, we don't know.
I will give you that. I think you guys are right, and I was wrong on that part. That this does exactly the thing that's Ahsoka didn't do, which it takes the rules off the table.
Right. Exactly.
I'll give you that.
But hold on, because I'm gonna throw it to you, 9, because I do have this one thing that I gotta share because I've did some research. This is one problem I had with the show. May, the character May, you haven't even given the rundown yet, but character May pulls her every time we see her, this bitch got to take her shit off. Like take her hood off. I am going to show you.
This is gonna be like the Loki hair flip.
Yes. This is gonna be the Loki hair flip because you'll see this one right here. Hey, what's happening? Hey,
also,
nobody
we can't tell who you are because we can't see your nose or chin.
Then you got this one right here at the beginning, and then you got this one right here.
Flip.
Yeah.
I flip my hand.
Every single time. Yeah.
Dude, every single time. So I don't know.
That fight scene was good.
It makes sense because you're trying to, and exactly what I was about to say. Mandla, bad as hell. Fucking love her so much. And we were talking about how, it's becoming a thing where it's, one actor playing two roles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that she actually did a really great job in this, where she's actually, her body language shifts. And I guess we're going to spoil everything. So, the first episode, and I would actually say that the critique about the mystery of if she is if there's twins or not, I think they could have went a little bit more mysterious with that, just a little bit, stretched it out just a little bit more, or made the reveal a bit more not as pair.
Did you know though? Was it still?
I had this suspicion, but I did take an embarrassing amount of time to come to the conclusion that it had to be twins. When I was talking to KirstYn and Chelsea last week, right after the episode aired, they seemed to figure it out the first second that the second twin was on, and I was just like, no, I actually it took me a while, and I don't know why it took me so long, because you can definitely tell the difference just in the way that she wakes up and just her whole vibe, just the way that she sits, gets up. I'm like, okay. Looking back at it, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's obvious that she was a different person.
It's funny. It's funny that you say that, because when watching this first episode, the first two episodes, I had a completely different mindset on this show, and it's probably going to take me a minute to come down from it, because after realizing that's not what the show is. So I assumed that this was going to be a Tyler Durden situation. I was like, oh shit.
I had a quick thought of that.
Is this some sort of situation where trauma affects a Force user in a weird way, where they're able to manifest a dead relative, and they're just acting through their own intentions, and every time they go to sleep, they act and they do all this other crazy shit. I thought this was going to be a very weird Fight Club situation where this is going to be the duality of the show.
Well, I looked it up on Wikipedia. Their father's name was Robert Paulson.
His name was Robert Paulson.
I looked that up.
Oh my god! If we get a Meatloaf a Force Ghost, I'm just gonna be so happy. I'll tell you what. For me, so I did think that I was like, all right, maybe she's broken and she doesn't even realize what she's doing. But then the second that dude from the cantina walks in and goes, "That was her," I was like, God damn it, are they doing twins?
Listen.
You fucking snitch ass motherfucker.
I'm gonna read just shit right quick, and then also explain something to him. Okay, he says, "Bro, what is this show? Laugh out loud. Twins? Come on, man. What is it? The Star Wars highlighting show? Is her hand?
Is her hand getting cut
is
off?
Her hand getting cut off too? Listen.
Yeah, probably. I hope so.
Listen.
Take a foot this time. Mix it up.
Listen, man. This ain't that, man. This ain't.
Also, Film Age identical twins.
What we got here is a case of the Dirty Jedi, because that's what we haven't talked about. We got you rent through the rundown.
No, not really.
You should go through, because I think you probably got what I'm about to say in the note.
Yeah, like we did initial thoughts. Let's talk about what this what this series.
No
is
need for me to just say shit that you already got wrote down.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, the series takes place 100 years before the rise of the Galactic Empire. The Galactic Republic and the Jedi Order preside during a time of a centuries-long peace. As we mentioned a little bit earlier, in a bar on the planet Ida, Jedi Master Indara is attacked and killed by a woman wielding daggers, and the bartender identifies Oceanus as the former Jedi Padawan learner as the killer. And we were talking a little bit about just like how there's the intrigue of because she mentions that she spent the last night on Nar Shaddaa, or like she missed out on a outing to
Nar Shaddaa. That's where you get your duck sucked. Yo, duck sick.
You can get them death sticks and your duck sucked.
Yeah, you can get her to sick your duck out there on the outskirts of a.
And also, I gotta say something to this film age too, because like, yeah, twins. That's kind of like a fundamental basis of Star Wars. Like twins are going to pop up in Star Wars.
Yeah, I understand what he's saying. No, he's saying that we need to get away from the Skywalker tropes. I get that, but I don't think that this is a Star Wars trope. I think they're leading the witness. You know what I
mean? Yeah. Just to say real quick, I don't know if you guys can see it. I am wearing my Star Wars Visions shirt that highlights the.
There's something white in the way. I can't.
Oh yeah, my arm sling is in the way.
Is it Vision season 1? Season 1 Visions?
Vision season 1, the twins episode. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
I could make the camera.
That's actually one of my least favorite ones of the Visions.
Oh really? I love that. I love the animation. The story is like.
It says, take a foot what you want them to contain. Damn, bro.
It'll be original for Star Wars.
That shirt. That's that shirt there.
That's that shirt. That's that shirt.
Can I go back?
But
there's
go back to well, I guess you didn't actually explain why you have an arm sling. It's because he came at me when I had this bad motherfucker. That's why he's lucky he still has an arm.
He's just getting used to the he's getting used to the robotics.
Shout out!
I got really drunk. I got really drunk at a bar, and I saw 9 there, and I was like, "I don't like you. My friend doesn't like you either."
And I was just like,
"You got
no questions asked." No questions asked. Jeff was like, "Whoa, what the fuck?"
It sure was.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no, you missed why. I don't want to tell you why. All those answers are way funnier.
We've only told 2 fake reasons. So we haven't actually said the real reason. I'm just gonna keep
I said the horse tournament, but
you said the horse tournament about your shit. I didn't even mention that I was there.
That's true. That's true. Don't give the mystery away. Fuck them.
But you know what? Anyway, so which episode was more lit to you?
The first episode was more lit. I do think I like the intrigue of everything. And
I heard nobody say that yet. So yeah, continues.
They both blend together really nicely, and I guess that's kind of why they released both the episodes at the same time. But
it's a contract, but yeah.
But I thought that it was I thought that it was very intriguing. And I always feel like the less I know in a story where they're dropping these little hints and seeds is always the most intriguing part of a show. Yeah. This does feel like a space noir where they're just trying to like get to the bottom of this.
It is a whodunit.
Yeah, it's a whodunit. They're trying to get to that. No, they're trying to get to the meat of this very small stakes thing because this isn't implications of someone destroying the galaxy or taking over the universe. Is a kind of a small story. So I like that aspect of it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with you, but
I would have to say that that's interesting. Delia says though, episode 2 is where shit picked up for me. I actually did like episode 1 just because there was that intrigue for me at first, especially because we're seeing a bit more of how the Jedi are just like
nostalgia.
They're full of themselves.
Yeah.
They are full of themselves.
They've always
hardcore
been full of
in this.
themselves.
That's
why
true.
Anakin
That is
ended
true.
up going to the dark side, and that's why Anakin isn't wrong. Anakin was right.
Yeah, but like they're I don't know about Anakin being right, but
He was right.
but I would say
Anakin
that
was right. Darth Vader was wrong. I'm talking about Anakin was right.
Yeah, I can see where you're going with that.
Whole nother podcast.
But like it's like the height of their hubris. And I would have to say that like when you're talking about like, oh, do we have another Ahsoka on our hands? I was like feeling that way a little bit just because I thought this show was definitely going to be a bit more Andor, like a bit grittier, darker, and more serious in tone and like kind of like the themes that it presents. Even though it is presenting those like darker and grittier themes, I just don't think that it's like doing it like the stylistic Andor way where it's just like, oh shit, are we actually even watching Star Wars right now? I don't know.
I'm glad that they didn't go that direction because I'm tired of all the grit and the grind and the goddamn keeping it grounded and blah blah blah.
I feel like Andor's the only one that did it so far.
No, Mandalorian did it though because they did.
Mandalorian did the grit like a Western, you know.
Yeah, but still, they had the illusion of space while still actually just doing everything in a grounded level.
Well, I guess with like the aspect of it being a semi-contained story and also it being like this kind of like political thriller too. I haven't gotten that sense from it, even though like all of the themes are there for it, but it's just not letting us sit with it, and that kind of goes with like the twins thing. I feel like we could have got that reveal like a little bit earlier, or maybe if they didn't telegraph it as much.
I like that they got it when they gave it out because we would have figured that out. So, by the time you had got done watching episode 2, if they hadn't have talked about that in any way, shape, or form, all the Reddits would have spoiled all that shit by then. And also, I think that's what I was talking about. The twins thing isn't going to be as big of a deal going forward. I don't think it's because I think we got a lot of story. I think they're just telling you, they're just giving you this little first 2 episodes.
How many episodes are we getting?
I think
8 or 9.
8.
I think
ain't nobody doing 10 no more.
Okay,
just go ahead and know that's not going to happen.
I'll do some 8.
Yeah, that was the part
that got a lot more story to tell, and I don't think we're gonna have a big lull from 3 to 4 like how you normally have that episode lull. I don't think we'll have that because we won't have an episode where we're trying to be revealed some shit that we already done figured out at home and on the Drunk Banthas podcast at 8 p.m. Pacific time every Monday. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't need to go through that rigmarole. And you should say something now because my throat won't let me say it.
Jeff, you want to read that comment right there?
Guys, why did the Asian Jedi Master tell the kids to close their eyes, knowing one of the kids was an alien with huge black eyeballs and no eyelids? Remember? And I don't.
And I
don't doubt it, but
I just hear the Drake song.
Yeah, I was about to say,
remember? Now I just hear you.
Do you remember?
God damn, I stole your joke. Shit, my bad. But yeah, what about that one kid who's like, I see fire?
You mean her?
Yeah, honestly, when this scene was happening, it took me a minute to realize, because we didn't have the Nintendo click sound. It took me a minute to realize this wasn't a flashback, because I thought it was a flashback of her as like Amanda's character as a child.
Well,
excuse you, a youngling. God, get the words.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm more of a nerd.
You are so disrespectful.
I'm gonna have a press conference tomorrow, making an apology to all the younglings. But it took me a minute because I thought that this was just her as a child grappling with her trauma and like the fire of her trauma specifically, and how that's like trickling over to her Force visions. But then it turns out to be somebody else. It's like, do all black women have the same trauma?
No,
Alex.
I mean, if not on Star Wars,
like watch out for this one right here.
No, Alex, you just hate women.
He just puts a little sticker on her back so everyone knows.
Right, you think that all black women look the same, so therefore you went ahead and assumed that this was the same girl. But what you me,
I think like thematically it just made sense.
Alex, I gotta say the manifesto's getting really disturbing, dude.
The reason I said that is because I didn't get that at all. What I got was she is sensing the disturbance in the force. She is sensing the dark side that is showing up, because what we've known that all the Jedi in their height of just fucking ego, they believe that nothing can, that they're infallible. And that's when the dark side is able to hide and be in the shadows outside of their purview of what these niggas sit around meditating all day. They don't ever feel this shit because they're not looking for it. This little kid, she don't know what to look for and what not to look for. So she felt the dark side. And guess what? Guess what we found out later? That May and what's the other girl's name?
Osha.
May and Osha's family went through some type of big fire.
Tell you what, if Osha was around for the Death Star, that shit never would have passed.
Right. Yeah.
It would have been a safer place to be.
Right.
Actually, I don't know. Ocean.
Like, no, we got a big problem here, guys. Let's shut it down.
Well, I mean, at least a lot of families would have got severance.
Like, what we saw in Andor, the Empire is Ocean.
Yeah.
And like, speaking of characters in this show, it took me, I didn't realize until after I watched both episodes that Daphne Keene was in this show.
It took me a while too. Weapon X or no, not Weapon X, but Weapon
22, I think.
X2.
22, yeah. X2 or whatever.
Oh, fuck are y'all talking about? There's people who actually don't know what
the little girl from Logan is
there you Daphne Keene from Logan. She was also in,
trying to make sure my listeners are taking care of her.
She's the little white girl with the overdone eyeshadow.
Right. She's from Our Dark Materials and Logan. And it might have been just because like I haven't seen her since she was 13 years old. I didn't realize what she looked like, and also because like the heavy makeup on her. But I was already thinking, like, not knowing who she was, like, oh, this actress is pretty cool. Like she's very grounded, and she seems like a person who's naive and is like still learning all the rules of the council, but is still very
Jackie Lan. Yeah. We're gonna be seeing her again this summer too, by the way.
Oh, what is she in?
Is she going to be in Wolverine? Deadpool and Wolverine? I've heard that she's denying it, but I'm pretty sure she's pulling like a, Spider-Man No Way Home type of thing.
No, we're not talking about that.
No.
So, anyway.
But Bill, to what you were talking about earlier with them like meditating and not sensing it, I think part of the reason why is because the light side's not. The Jedi are all about balance of the Force and all that, but they're not balanced because they only practice the light side. Gray Jedi are balanced. That's where, light and dark side. They're parts of the same thing. It's all natural. So the problem is Jedi try and deny that part of them because they're like, oh, well, if we try and understand it at all, we're going to get bad, and that's bad. And it's like, no. So you're just trying, you're literally putting on blinders and saying, we're good, we're balanced. And it's like, man,
that's why I think, I agree. That's why I think this girl was the one who was able to see it, because this youngling doesn't have any of those hangups yet. Right? Like she's exploring, because he's the test that was here that was going on was, or the exercise that was going on was, let go, explore the Force.
Yeah,
exactly.
So she could have ended up anywhere, and this nigga just didn't expect her to go that far. He was like, God damn, bitch. How the fuck did that?
I actually feel. Well, go ahead.
Thiele, I was just gonna say I wanted to agree with Athelius' last comment. I want a Gray Jedi show so bad, Disney too scared to make it canon. Man, I want one so bad too. I agree with you. The closest we've gotten to seeing one on screen is technically Qui-Gon was a Gray Jedi.
Didn't we also
that came back to the light?
Did we not see it in Clone Wars? Like,
Not really.
I mean,
Yoda went to the little forest planet and dealt with the little forest ghost people. I think he kind of dealt with that.
Yeah,
they touched on that. I think
so.
Oh,
I think Ahsoka is
a
technically a
little
great
bit.
Jedi as well.
I think Ahsoka is technically a great. They've never said that,
and I think they're going to be retconning Rey to be also a great Jedi too.
Fuck Rey. Rey, get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
I like Rey as a character.
Fuck.
I liked Rey until the last movie.
Yeah,
there you go.
The last.
Yeah.
Hey, what have you done for me lately? God damn it.
She she did that shit with the Last Jedi when she was training with Luke, and she did basically the same thing. It's like, I feel the darkness like rising up and whatever, and rock started floating, whatever.
Man, I want me a Star Killer show.
Let's talk a little bit more about Osha.
Yeah, I took us off. I'm sorry.
No.
Read that and then go to what you.
Oh, Athelia says, facts. The Bendu kind of had the mentality of a great Jedi for the people that watched Rebels. Yeah.
Right, for y'all rebel heads out there.
And Buddha Cafe said, is that Leslie Headland's wife in real life?
Yes.
Right here?
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's cool.
It's one of the trivia things in IMDb.
Shout out to Rebecca Henderson.
I have that app.
But Osha works as a mechanic doing dangerous repairs on the outside of starships, a job that is usually relegated to droids. Denies committing the crime when arrested by Jedi Yord Fandar, played by, I think his name is Charlie Barnett.
Yeah, Charlie Barnett.
And his Padawan, Tassie Loa, who is Daphne Keene. What did you
Charlie
guys think?
Barnett was in Russian Dolls.
Oh, yeah, he was in Russian Dolls. You told me that.
And the Russian Dolls director is the one who's directing this show.
Yeah.
Wait. Daphne King's not his.
That's not Daphne King.
No, sorry. Daphne comes in later.
She's Master Soul's Padawan, right?
Right, yeah.
All right. This is just some weird alien bitch.
Well, it looks like it's his Padawan.
Yeah,
some degree.
It's kind of weird that she just kind of fucks up in the same.
Right?
Right, yeah, it should have been.
All right, you're a master now, bye.
Yeah, why didn't they use Daphne King just to establish? Because like her whole aesthetic is also the same. I mean, not the ears or whatever, but like those horns and stuff.
Yeah, similar. It would have been interesting. Yep, it would have been better if they had definitely.
Is there a quota on green people in Star Wars? Do we have to have a green person?
Well, it's a question about how much the director's turned on by them.
Yeah, I think that's
I feel like sometimes in franchises people get fixed, like how X-Men has 14 different blue characters.
At least it's a white lady this time.
Yeah, that's right. It's like they're not
always a black person.
relegating all the green people to green.
I mean, we can all
no one
agree,
tells
though,
Zoe Saldana.
but we can all agree the best Star Wars green character is Kit Fisto, right? He's a badass.
Hold on. Kit Fisto?
Yes.
That's
so cool, but
how did y'all know my porn name?
Been searching the webs.
No.
How did y'all know my porn name?
I got a VPN. I've been going big on Pornhub.
I've been performing all my name for years now. Didn't nobody know.
But let's talk about this next scene that some people I've seen online who've had a kind of a problem with this scene. En route to Coruscant, the galactic capital, Osha's fellow prisoners escape and leave her to crash land on the planet Karlek. She kind of survives by like holding from strapping into a crash seat on the ship. Did you guys have any problem with her like surviving the crash?
Star Wars,
seen a lot of people be like,
we saw Ahsoka survivor. We saw Ahsoka survivor. Fucking
Ahsoka's a Jedi Master, though.
She practiced the Force too, so
she didn't even make it past Padawan. Yeah. I'll say the part for me was, bitch works on chips, and they didn't destroy the controls. They just turned off the droids. Just go try and drive it.
I thought there was a moment where she tried to, but there was like exploding stuff, or maybe I'm remembering that wrong. If she just like
the only thing I remember is like when the escape pods popped out, it just went in and then it hit, like back-ended an asteroid.
This ship is too big for her to.
There is a fire back there.
Exactly. This ship is too big. She is entering the atmosphere. This ship is be going in.
It's pretty intense, yeah.
So I
Turn the
wouldn't.
droids back on.
Well, they fried the droids. So, and also, there's
Just
not
turn them
time
off.
for any of that. There's no time for all of that. What's
I
her
assumed
name
it was-
survived? Ahsoka survived. We've seen
Yeah.
Star Wars
No wonder this bitch didn't make it as a Jedi.
We've seen them all.
survive.
We've seen them all survive. Yeah,
I
some
assumed
crazy shit.
Yeah, and I assumed it was kind of like those crash seats that are made on planes where they're like structurally put in a place where, like, if you sit there, that's
And it's even held.
chance to.
You know, she's also sitting backwards and she's like bracing herself or whatever. So
If you're gonna have an issue, it should be the one that I said when we was watching it, which is why is there no escape pod for the bridge? Like the bridge should be
like
just
detach
an
and,
escape
like,
pod. That's what
yeah.
the bridge should be.
Yeah,
just like disconnect.
Star Trek shit right there. That's
exactly.
that's where the smart people are at.
Well, you know, captain goes down with the ship or whatever, probably type of.
Well, and I will say these captains are droids.
You know where the Star Trek
that's
people come out?
Where?
Earth.
Yeah, that's true.
Earth runs.
Welcome to Earth.
We do it better.
Welcome to Earth, motherfucker. Is that an Independence Day?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Right before he punches an alien in the face.
But when she has this knocked out moment, this is when we do see Osha have a vision of her twin sister May, and I feel like that's when the narrative of this series kind of gets kicked up, where you see that both of these we realize later that both of these characters didn't realize one another were alive, and how that affected their lives growing up. One pushed away from the Force, one embrace the Force in a very dark way. How did you guys feel like about that?
You got all of that?
That's
what you got all of that?
Yeah, I've been reading some Carl Jung.
Yeah.
He's been
that was
studying the id.
That shit was
and everything.
Thank you, man.
Now I want to, but before you answer that, I really want to do a quick game here. Where is it? Someone tell me the planet that she crash landed on.
Kalec? No.
Anyone? Any other guesses?
Fisto.
It's in the Star Wars cartoons. It's where they went to. Isn't it where they went to get the Kyber crystals?
If you're playing along in the comments, let us know in the comments. Just make a guess.
Othelius is really close. I didn't want to say it because I have it in my notes.
Oh, I got it, but I just cheated.
Look, y'all are cheating ass bastards.
Carla, very close.
Carla.
I'm assuming that his spell check got him wrong.
What was it?
Karlak.
Yeah.
Karlak is where she crash lands on snowy ass planet. Karlak.
Yeah.
Well, so it was first seen in Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the episode "A Friend in Need." An earlier draft of the screenplay placed these scenes on a desert planet named Boz Pity, which was mentioned in Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, cool.
That's where
got some big
Barris died.
No?
Damn it. My Clone Wars is. Is he talking about Clone Wars here? Yes?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, Carla is where Barris died.
No.
I thought it was that.
Anyway,
I was trying to give you a bit of the
doubt. Yeah, he didn't have to tell us that. He didn't have to tell us that. He could have just got a win right there. He could have got a whole dub.
If we know nothing about Othelius, he is honest.
That's right. He's a real nigga.
The one interesting thing about this vision is, so is this a vision of through the Force, or is it brain damage? Because that's the thing. She's seeing her sister as a child. She's not seeing her sister at her current age.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you know how like all the fan theories, every fan theory is like, oh, they were dead the whole time. This is when that theory pops up now.
I think that this is her. Yeah, this is her dreaming. Like Anakin would have dreams of things that would happen in the future, but not a dream of like
fun sand people parties. Yeah.
Right.
It's like it's the truth being revealed to you, but you have to interpret it. Like when and the reason I can go off of that is because like in episode 2 we realized that they haven't had that connection, at least that they can that they have made that in their minds. They're both very surprised to know that the other is alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
Like,
now,
let's
did we ever see anyone interacting with both of them at the same time in episode 2?
We don't, but there's a
But
clear
they did shoot at each other.
there's
I
a
mean,
clear
well,
there's a clear delineation, as I was focusing hard on that, trying to like get this Tyler Durden storyline.
Okay, but what if they're just setting us up for a Tyler, like making us believe it's twins to set us up for the Tyler Durden reveal?
I like again,
Well,
like
she
I
shot
was
at
looking, I was looking at it too hard. Yeah, like and there was the
Because
where they interact with each other.
Think about when Ed Norton and Tyler Durden are literally fighting.
yeah, no,
But there
I
are no
hear you.
there are no witnesses to that. Like again,
Yeah.
again, I feel like unfortunately by the end of episode 2, they kind of like
By the end of episode 1, even.
No, by the end of episode 1, we just hear someone saying she has a twin. Not like seeing, because again, so
It hasn't been
well, but so you guys answered my question because I've forgotten about the townspeople running from the shooting.
yeah,
But
like,
they don't. But we don't know if they saw May. We just know they saw OSHA shooting.
this is the one that
I swear they better not go the fucking
I'll
Tyler Durden route.
I'll tell you at the end of this episode. I'll show you.
Okay.
Where
All right.
I can tell you where I can tell you where it Charlie Barnett was his character's name.
that's a good question.
Anyway,
Yord.
Yeah, Yord. Oh yeah, that's your name. It's on the other side. Yord said he was following her when he went to go fight the meditating nigga.
Right.
Yeah.
But I've got a theory on that.
Star Wars Killmonger.
Oh, I think Yord is evil.
I also think there's something. I think like there's something up with a lot of these.
He's
hold on. Y'all got some wild shit. Y'all see, y'all be saying wild shit.
Yord is just he's already very very aggressive for a Jedi. He's very sure of himself and cocky for a Jedi. I just keep getting the feeling that he is either working I don't know if he's her May's master or if he's just looking to move into that as well. But I think he's evil.
You know what? I think that we're gonna get an interesting arc with Daphne Keene and Charlie Barnett's character in this, where they're gonna sort of end up in the same place because they're both like very devout, very neophyte subjects in the Jedi Council, where they're still
neophyte.
Yeah,
you are in your
sometimes.
This is amazing. You out here podding today,
bro. Come on, neophyte is a neophyte diction.
Okay.
Like I feel like they're both just like so new to like learning about the Jedi Council and also like ingratiating themselves in the council. But I think that their relationship with Soul, the Squid Game actor, I forget that Squid Game name.
Master Soul.
Master Soul. As like we learn more about him and how not so light side he has acted in the past. Once they get those revelations, they're both going. Yeah, Qui-Gon Jinn-esque. I feel like they're both going to like have the same sort of arc where they had so much devotion to this cause, and they're gonna realize like, well, maybe it's not all like crack.
I think that that mindset that you're talking about, the Qui-Gon Jinn-esque mindset, is just how this branch or this version of Jedi work in this time period. Because Green Lady, I don't remember her name, but she walked up in, she gave him this task, knowing that he has a closeness to her, but then also was like, I need you to keep this shit, a little quiet, because our political rivals will, and he was like, yeah, bitch, you know that. You know what, bitch? I was thinking the same thing. So they clearly step over the lines or color outside the lines a little bit.
Yeah.
I will say two things. One, first off, Master Soul learned enough English to play this role. It's his first English speaking role ever.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was dope.
Right. Also, I will say, Yord is also he's technically what's considered a Jedi Sentinel, which you can tell because he's got the yellow lightsaber. Which those are they honed their skills in a balance between combat and scholarly pursuits. So that also says to me the combat, aggressive like Anakin, a lot of the best combatants end up what's his face? Dooku was one of the best combatants at one time. But then also we've also seen a thing where when the Jedi start looking into the history and they start reading up and they start learning, that's what turns them evil because they're like, oh, there's so much more than just the Jedi,
Yeah.
Well,
So,
that's why I've had this part on Othelius. Can you read that, Jeff?
Yord tried to flex for the alien shortly and then freaked out because the alien shorty and then freaked out because he ain't expect her to show up with Master.
Yeah. And I love the way that they kind of like he looks at her like, are you tempted by this man? Like, do not do that.
I didn't catch them vibes. I just
I was catching a little bit of
Oh no, I caught that vibe too. Yeah.
Only because there's not typically shirtless people in
well, I know
Star
why
Wars.
Y'all don't know why
we also don't see Jedi that ripped.
They wanted to have Jedi Killmonger.
Oh, I know y'all don't know why they did this.
They wanted
this was what we call queer bait. So
I just thought you were gonna make a sound effect that just sounded wet.
No, only sound effect I got is this.
Do we have a sound effect like that?
That's all I got for that. No,
it's just a quote from Archer just saying sploosh.
Charlie Barnett is an openly gay black man, and this is what now because I'm glad this is what I've been trying to get to this transition because people have been saying that this show is gay or is woke, and first of all, it's none of that, but it is what all shows do, which is placate to somebody in some kind of way.
What month is it coming out?
Exactly. What month is it right now? It's Pride Month. This is Charlie Barnett's way of getting his shit off. Look, we gonna get our man with his shirt off. He gonna boom, boom, flex on y'all niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have extra bitches tomorrow. And you know what?
That's what I was saying. Like he was pumping iron. He was not drinking water. He was dehydrating all day.
Yeah. Well, actually, if you go look at him in Russian Doll, he's actually jacked in that. He's actually just more skinny here, but he is jacked in Russian Doll.
Yeah. Put your fucking clothes on.
Yeah, that's
damn
22.
She did his ass dirty.
Yeah, she was like, okay, get the fuck. Like, come on.
What you think, Alex? You think that was first of all? Do you think
is this woke?
Do you know what I'm saying? Do you think this is just like, hey, let's get this? We got a nigga who got a good chest. Let's get that on. Excuse me. Let's get that on TV. And also, what do you feel about the
only other time they did it was Adam Driver. I feel like.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, as far as like Star Wars has never done sexy very well. Period. Like with every time
Leia bikini.
Okay, actually, they've only done sexy good once.
Wait a minute.
There's no underwear in outer space.
Hold on. So y'all, no, I'm gonna let you cook.
Like I don't know. Star Wars has never done like sexy really well. I feel like except for the Leia bikini that was a moment. Is just like as far as wardrobe goes, but as far as like sexual content, I don't feel like. I feel like Star Wars is always at its best when like things are just like sort of ambiguous in that sense. Like there's no there's so much shit going on in Star Wars. Like I feel like they've never really like decided to just like focus on anything sexual about things. Like if you think about how Palpatine had sex to have Rey as a granddaughter, like that just makes you feel icky inside.
Yeah, but that's not what happened. Well, I'm talking about this. First of all, I was talking about this scene because it ain't sex though. There's nothing. There's no sex here.
Baby, we'll talk about you.
Yeah, but you just started talking about having sex. So I'm just confused.
Yeah, I was just saying like they.
I was just gonna say to Alex's point, compare it to its longtime comparison / rival Star Trek, nonstop boning aliens. That was Kirk's whole thing. He wasn't a good captain. He was good at seducing alien women.
No. What was you saying?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that like this is just like they're doing a good job in this. Is like I don't know, like they're have a sexualization of this character in like an interesting way where they're showing off his sexuality, like they're showing off his body.
I didn't feel like it was showing off his sexuality. I just feel like it was hey, let's get this dude with his shirt off type of moment, like that's subtle without being like, to me it was ambiguous as a mug, like, you know what I'm saying, like it's his shirt's not off saying like, hey, I'm gay and people, you know, look at me. I'm just saying that they know he got gay fans. They know that they're gonna be women who are gonna be watching too. And let's just you know, get these birds one stone, boom, boom, and we have our moment, right? Like, but you didn't answer my question though about the gay situation, like, or the woke, you know what I'm saying? That kind of backlash type, weird Star Wars fan type of behavior that we saw even when John Boyega became a cast member of the Star Wars franchise. We saw this backlash of hate coming towards him.
Did you say blacklash?
Yeah, I said
Sure did.
Blacklash that came towards him, even though, and excuse me, and it also made them change like the storyline going forward because they didn't really even want to even get him to be no force user or anything like that because how much people gave them hate over that. So like, how do you first of all, I know the answer to this question, but I'm asking you, do you feel like it's a woke show? Do you feel like they are not placating, but trying to force an agenda of gayness?
Yeah, no, of course not. Yeah, like it's just this show just doing what everybody else does. Like, I mean, I just feel like it's just like a
boom
thing show where it just happens to be diverse. Yeah, so I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about it, Jeff?
First off, Othelius couldn't agree more. It's just conservatives crying again and don't mean shit.
Mhm.
And I agree. I don't think it's a woke show. I think it is a diverse show. I think it's a show that wanted to connect to a lot of people, but that doesn't make it woke. That being said, people are going to cry and bitch that it is woke. I mean, anytime we've done something different in Star Wars, Rey being the main character, fuck that, it's woke. Bringing in Finn, fuck that, it's woke. Even Kelly Marie Tran, just a smaller side character, got so much fucking hate.
So bad for Kelly Marie Tran.
It was horrible. I mean,
damn, that's crazy.
The reason why I think this is a lot of people are going to complain, a lot of people are going to call it woke, is also the same reason as that Assassin's Creed set in Japan. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People are mad because oh no, it's finally something where there isn't just a white guy running around saving the day. Calm the fuck down. It's fine.
I guess that's really what I meant. That's the question that I really was asking, is like, how these people just are attacking people for no reason, and it ain't got nothing to do. Like, you could just
there's a reason. It's just a stupid one.
You can just say you don't like black people. People, there's plenty of people. I have more respect for you if you just say you don't like.
Just say that.
You just say that. Well, what you think?
I was on Reddit, and you should never Twitter, Reddit. I mean,
stay away if it's
never go to any other internet source but us. Basically, is what I'm saying. Because I was on Reddit, and people, because they released a statement, it's like, hey guys, chill out with all this racist bigotry shit, please. And then someone on Reddit was like, see how they're trying to gaslight us and saying if this show's bad, then we're racist or something? No. Why are you so offended by them saying chill out on this racist shit? Why are you so offended? Like,
if you haven't said anything racist yet, and someone's saying, hey, don't be a racist, and you get offended.
If you get offended by it, it's like, no, they're not gaslighting you. This is actually just like a serious problem within the Star Wars community. And I mean, not even race. Like, look at how they treated young Anakin for the Phantom Menace.
Yeah,
this is before the internet was popping off. They were writing letters to this little kid.
Look at Captain Marvel. Not just Star Wars fans, though. Look at Captain Marvel.
I'm just saying.
Rotten Tomatoes had to turn off fan ratings because Captain Marvel, all the fans started trashing it before it came out.
Which is what I was going to say is like, this is indicative of the world. Like, it's
Disney
of human beings. This is what I was saying about Bright earlier. Is like, you can't change what's already established. Is that people are fucking terrible people.
I still just think that
human beings are terrible people.
Someone hating.
Someone saying, yeah, just me.
We are terrible people. So there's people out there who will hate on everything, right? Like, and we're gonna have this type of, like you said, it's not just a Star. Like to George's point earlier. It's not just Star Wars though. It's like Assassin's Creed. Then had issues.
It's bad.
It's always bad. I could go on and on and on and on about that particular issue. But
the fact of the matter is, it's political if there's any women or people of color in it. It's not political if it's like, if it was all just white.
It's just the way of the world.
Then that's just Star Wars. But if there's any women or people of color in it, then all of a sudden it's woke.
I'm surprised you guys didn't know. Outside of this podcast and the actors on Star Wars, everyone in the world's white.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then Atili says, because whiteness is a culture of plausible deniability, you can say horrible shit, just make it dog whistle so no one can call you out. Exactly.
Yeah,
people have been like, people have been going mask off with this new series and not giving any real type of critique about the series.
Yeah, that means
just attacking. Yeah. Just attacking.
They know that there's a gay lady who is directing it. They know there's a gay dude in it. They know it's black people in it. They know it's Asians in it.
That's not talking about that, but I want to talk about.
Well, I need to know.
Go ahead.
I hate it.
Jeff.
I was just gonna say, like, nerd culture in general is getting really bad with it. It's to the point where cons have to literally have signs everywhere just saying cosplay is not consent, because so many women were getting sexually assaulted. Guys just walking up, grabbing their ass, like, oh, hey, baby, like all that shit. And like to the point where cons have to have increased security now just because people are like, well, I'm entitled to this. And I'll tell you what,
I didn't know that.
Always people that look like me.
I didn't know that about the cons. That's crazy.
It's really sad.
But I just want to talk about Othelius's comment here. It says, because when he was talking about because whiteness is a culture of plausible deniability, we need to come up with our dog whistles, man. We need some dog whistles, man. Why we ain't got dog whistles?
Play They Not Like Us right now.
Oh no, I got that last time.
Right.
I'm only playing acapellas now. That's why I got the Bad Boys acapella.
They need a search bar for all of these fucking.
Alex, what were you about to say?
For the sound bar?
Soundbar
search bar?
Video up.
Soundbar search bar, yeah. We probably just need to.
What were you about to say?
Yeah, I was just about to go into the next episode 2, Revenge and Justice.
I wanted to just know what your guys' thoughts on that little guy right there, the Walkman that she's got. I like that little guy.
The talk boy.
That little Walkman, little talk boy. Yeah.
I like that they're doing like, hey, this is 100 years before, so there's not advanced droids like we've been seeing.
Go ahead, Alex. What do you think?
About what part? What did
you think of her droid Pip?
Oh yeah, I think that,
and she can talk to it too.
Yeah, I think Pip's a cool addition to the droid family. Like, it's a nice little like cell phone type character.
But yeah, go ahead, read it down.
What are you gonna do when he says? What are you gonna do when Pip says, "Leave the change, you filthy animal"?
Yeah, I definitely want one too. And then also, I think this is true. Buddha Cafe isn't the director Leslie Hedlund, former assistant to Jeffrey Weinstein. I think she was like sometime linked to Jeffrey Weinstein, but that's kind of like everybody in Hollywood was sometime linked to Jeffrey Weinstein. So I'm not going to really knock her for that. And then I also just wanted to
I just
point
feel
out
bad for her.
this right here is where, because we know that OSHA is in custody. So that's what I was talking about earlier. We know that OSHA is in custody.
This is episode 2. Can you just pause? Because we're jumping ahead. Alex, go ahead and read your
No,
shit.
this is the end of episode 1. That's what I was. Yeah,
It
it's the
is.
end of episode 1. So
But-
like OSHA is in custody here.
Okay, but I can blow a hole in that. You
it
don't
could be
know.
a time difference when
There
this
it is.
happened. Okay.
Yep.
Right. Okay. That's.
I need
that's
a blown up the hole button.
Yeah, like
I need a blowing up
it's
the
very
whole button.
evident- It's very evident that these two characters are different. They did a lot of like interesting visual storytelling to make it seem like they're different characters, and then we just get like blatantly as far as timeline goes, there's no way of distinguishing them as anything but two different characters. We do get this character, this shadowy figure on rock side, a cliff side that is directing May, the evil of the evil twin. And do you guys think that this is just Jason from The Good Place, or do you think that is a different? Do you think
Jason
like
from The Good Place
brought up that
the apothecary?
Hold on, you're
Yes.
talking about that Jason?
that Jason?
That's not Jason from The Good Place. He from The Good Place in Jason 1. That's Jason 1 from The Good Place.
Yeah, it could be.
Oh,
Yeah, in Dark Matter, do you ever end up a different race or a different like?
No, sir.
There
Okay, that's why.
technically there has to be a universe where you are, right?
Okay.
Well, technically, anything that you can think of is what can happen. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah, there's gotta be
Which would be
context
real
somewhere.
weird if you walk into the other race version of yourself, right?
Right, that's Jason from The Good Place.
Well, real cool.
Also, Jason from Dark Matter.
I think you mispronounced cool, sir.
Cool.
It's not
Ew.
Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, we definitely
They
said
definitely they rhyme.
It's Harvey Weinstein, not Jeffrey Weinstein.
Jeffrey Weinstein.
But yes,
anyway.
Harvey Epstein.
an English major will correct you in a heartbeat. I'm just let you know.
Yeah, we did not check our sources, so I'm sorry, Frothy.
But yeah, like, do you guys feel like that shadowy figure is going to end up being the Khmer, I believe is her supplier's name?
With a Q.
With a Q. Yeah.
QIMIR.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put the subtitles on for this one
because we do see him show up like a lot in the second episode where where May is trying to execute the levitating Jedi with a force bubble around him.
Now that is a segue, nigga. I like it.
Yeah, like do you feel like that's the same character, and how do you feel about that actor in that role? Is just like this ambiguous, very shady shopkeeper, apothecary.
You in your bag today. You in your bag today. I see.
Apothecaries do have bags.
They do have bags.
They often carry apothecs in them.
Yord, it's your question. Yord.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm still not.
Yord.
This is one of those ones where it's tricky because I think he did fine in this role. I think he did fine in this show. I think I could end up liking him if we see more of him, but it's one of those issues where it's hard for me to not see Jason from The Good Place. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
Because I did not even realize it was him. Like a lot of people, like after I watched it, even after I did the stream last week, when the episode first came out, I was like, "Oh shit, that's Daphne Keene. Oh shit, that's Jason from The Good Place." I was like, "Well, I didn't even see him."
Can we just call that show Nerd Cantina and just get it out of the way?
What?
Keep going.
The Good Place?
No.
The show that y'all gonna do tomorrow, or
When Kirsten was talking about it last
wait,
week.
y'all aren't gonna do it tomorrow. Y'all gonna do it on
Wednesday?
Yeah, right. Yeah, we can do that. We could call it Nerd Cantina. It, you know,
It's a name.
not
like,
my show.
But
show
anyway,
it.
For anybody, real quick, for anybody who's never
No.
for anybody who's never seen The Good Place, I just want to share this real quick.
What did you do for a living?
I was an amateur DJ, specializing in EDM, electronic dance music. I was also an amateur hip-hop backup dancer, an amateur body spray inventor. I did pranks on Vine.
None of those are jobs.
They seem like all jobs to me. Like that's gig culture.
It's not a job; they're all work.
They're all work. They all are work. Yeah.
Or work, but none of those things are jobs.
Y'all don't know this, but we're working right now, actually.
Exactly.
Right? But I mean, like, and when we first get introduced to him in this as the apothecary, he's kind of got that laid back vibe as well. And so that's what kind of really triggered it for me. Again, I actually don't think he did a bad job in this role. I'm just worried I'm not going to be able to see past The Good Place.
Do you think that's him, though?
I don't think
that's what
but I think that is a very dick-like object type situation. I think you're supposed to.
That's a lightsaber.
No, because the lightsaber, when he holds it, like if you go back a little bit, when
it's got a little curve to it,
and when it comes out, it just goes.
It's got a little curve to it,
like real slow. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do like what he's saying here too.
But an acolyte kills without a weapon. An acolyte kills the dream.
And see, why did you
that
do
looked
it?
Like every lightsaber I've ever seen.
No, I'm talking about when it came.
It's got a little curve.
Look, exactly. Look at how it's positioned. Why did he even pull it out? I'm just telling you.
He's holding it to his side. I think you're seeing.
No, okay. Well, look, go look.
I think your inkblot test is showing something you might not know about yourself.
So anyway, let me explain to you. Because if you think that artists and directors and people involved in this kind of stuff don't do shit like this, go check out the Wolverine Nightcrawler cover, the Wolverine comic book, where Wolverine is sitting there like this with a bottle right in front of him, a beer bottle on the table right in front of him. It falls right.
No,
in.
we know that it does it.
Finish what I'm saying. Look at the goddamn comic book and look at where Nightcrawler looks like he is actually like naked. He's like in the shadow. It's from behind, and you see Wolverine looking at him all smiling with the beer bottle right there. Guess what? The illustrator for that said he intended for that to be an ambiguously gay moment where you see him naked, you appear to be naked, and then the bottle is right there. It is very similar to the imagery that we have here.
With the comic, I get what you're saying, and I understand it. I'm just saying I don't think this is that.
Well, I'm just saying.
Look at the Lion King where they spell out sex and the stars and shit.
I mean and this is a Disney thing now.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying is that this is a moment of symbolism here.
I mean, lightsabers are always a little bit phallic, is all I'm saying.
And not that it's intended to put anything into the story or anything like that. I'm just merely pointing out this moment, and also it's unnecessary. Like, why pull out the lightsaber? I just like how it looks every once in a while. I just need to pull it out. I hadn't seen it in a while. Like, I'm just saying, there was no reason for it. And so even if you're not gonna, so let's just say it has nothing to do with any type of sexuality. It was stupid. Then how about that? Because it was a fucking stupid moment. If it has nothing to do.
Well, I wanted to actually talk about the words on that. Like, what do you guys feel about like what he said when he's like, an acolyte kills without a weapon, an acolyte kills the dream?
I think it's
like,
kind
how did you?
I do think it's kind of silly because he does have weapons,
and he pulls out a weapon saying it.
It's just not the it's just not
right.
the lightsaber.
But like, are you guys deriving any deeper meaning from that statement though? Like,
I like the concept of the thought itself, like the words itself. Beautiful. Guess what? You fuck it up with him pulling out a weapon, and she used weapons. I mean, she just literally killed Jedi with weapons. So I just don't understand. Maybe it was more of a layup towards episode 2, where they end up poisoning the second Jedi. Ewan McGregor's little brother, whatever. That nigga looked like baby McGregor.
Yeah, it's funny because I did really like the like to your point. I did like this episode, the way that she was able to kill this character because, and also the Jason Mendoza. That's not the actor's name, but
God,
Manny Jacinto. His character, just how he was like so, I don't know, wise about the way of implementing this poison, just like the way he described how this character probably is like waiting for death, and you just have to bring it to him.
It's like he knows something that she doesn't know.
Yeah, at first I thought
she don't know he knows.
Yeah, at first I thought he was talking in philosophical terms for a while, but then when it comes to that scene where she literally presents him with a choice of
You're talking
himself,
about episode 2.
Yeah.
Yes. Where she literally presents him with the choice of killing himself. I thought that was like a really compelling scene because she does everything that she can physically to kill him, but it turns out he has so much overwhelming grief and trauma and guilt that he wants to kill himself anyway. He's just waiting for a reason to, for the right to come along. What did you think of that aspect of like this assassination scene, as it were? Jeff, did you?
Yeah, are we jumping straight to episode 2 now?
Well, we've been on episode 2. You keep bringing us back to episode 1, but
I didn't know that we jumped to episode 2. There was
kind of.
Well, I was using that as a transition point as we were talking about.
Right. We was exactly. No, but Jeff.
All right. So, Alex, your point about Kimir, the way he's talking, that's interesting because I did not get that vibe when I was watching it. But that's very much how a Sith or a Jedi speaks to a Padawan or an Acolyte. It is very instructional while still being a little mysterious. That's actually a really good, point and theory that could go into it. More so when we think about like the reason why you don't suspect Kimir is because he's kind of hippie-ish, almost like a surfer dude at points where it's just like he's very, like I said, it reminded me of Jason from The Good Place. But there's that theory we've all heard where Jar Jar is a Sith, and a part of the reason why is because he's too stupid to be he's too stupid to be dangerous. But if you review everything, it could be that he was smartly hiding it in that sort of thing. So that could be the same thing here. I love that theory. It is one of the only things that makes the first 30 movies, the first movie watchable.
Started. There's a whole. We gotta have a podcast. God damn it! Don't get me started.
But I think that could be what's happening here, and if that's the case, I really like that. My one question is, I wonder if at this point in the Star Wars timeline, the rule of 2 is in effect, because I could also see it being the Master has Yard and May and multiple people vying to be their acolyte, and whichever one comes out on top, that's the one they keep.
Yeah, I don't think that we're at the point where there's the rule of 2 yet. I think that the rule of 2 is something that was recent within like maybe 50 years from now, because it was so prevalent with what the Jedi at the time in the Skywalker time period were really believing, and they seem to have ditched a lot of what is going, like a lot of the.
I thought the rule of 2 was actually set up before, the.
It was. Yeah, it was.
This is like after they thought they got rid of the Sith, and they were just going to be the shits.
I personally never really liked the rule of 2.
It doesn't even it doesn't exist till after New Hope. Go ahead.
It's before New Hope.
No, I'm saying when the actual movie, like in real lifetime.
I got you.
Yeah, I was just saying that I never really liked the rule of 2.
Yeah.
But
it's expanded lore. Yeah.
But let's see what happens at the end of this episode. After May escapes, after killing the Master Torben, and Osha poses as her to get information from Kamir. I thought this is kind of like a cute scene where Osha tries to pretend to be someone she doesn't even know really anymore. And Kamir sort of like quickly picks up on it. I feel like this is a nice I guess
I didn't feel like he quickly picked it up on it though, but go ahead.
No, I felt like he got it pretty much right away.
After a couple of lines, like you can see when he realizes. But what did you think of this scene? Because I feel like this is a good indication of how smart he is and how intuitive he is. And like to y'all's point, I feel like he's a little bit smarter than the show.
Your average bear.
Yeah, he's a little smarter than the average bear.
Well, first off, I'm evil now.
Year-olds.
So, yeah.
No, you gotta pull your shit back. You gotta pull.
I'm evil now. It's cool. No. Now I'm evil, but now I'm revealing. That I'm evil. So, and I think that's important. I think it's important.
That's how he knew that wasn't May.
Because
she didn't flip it back.
Yeah, she didn't take her fucking hoodie off.
I'm also evil.
Yeah, to y'all's point, that might just be like a subtle one of the subtle physical tics that are different than
both the twins.
That's what I like. Amandla, which is like, I don't know, funny name to me. It's like, wow,
like
didn't want to do Amanda, but you Amandla.
It's like that basketball player Anthony, Anthony.
Well, Amanda,
like,
Amanda had an auntie named Amanda and an uncle named Lala, so they had to.
Oh, I thought not Landon.
Oh no, I just made all of that up.
Yeah,
but
maybe your dad is Lando.
Lando. Well, wouldn't that be? No, she would be the mom.
So Mando is 158 years old. What? Even if she was the mom, like, nah, dog. She like grandma, at least grandma.
Hey, they want to shoehorn these original trilogy characters.
Yeah, what is the? Let me ask that question. Do y'all think this is eventually just going to end up connecting in some way? Like
she's the great grandmother of Lando Calrissian.
And also, is it if we get a Yoda sighting, which I think we will, and I hope we will, but if we get a Yoda sighting, is it?
He's on the council at this time.
Are we going to consider them to be connected? Because I won't. But
to who be connected?
Like, so would you consider? Do you think? Well, this 2-part question. Do you think this show at some point will connect to the Skywalker saga? And if it and so that's one question. But then if Yoda shows up at some point, do you think that automatically connects it to the Skywalker saga? Because I don't. I think
it's all connected.
I think that if well, it is all connected, but
it's all connected through the Force.
But if Yoda shows up, I don't think that it necessarily makes it connected. Yoda's 100,000 years old, so everything's gonna be connected. If you know what I'm saying, like everything is all connected. It's all connected. So how do you feel as first one? Go.
I will say that anything that introduces a character from the original series is like somewhat like paying homage or connected to that series, which is why I wanted so badly for us to get Knights of the Old Republic show or movie, because it's like thousands of years before, so there's there's no
Yoda. There's no Yoda because that's the only person that
no Yoda.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, there's no potentiality.
There may be a Maz Kanata, but no Yoda.
Right. Yeah, there's no potentiality of introducing characters that we've already seen. We just get to live in this very rich, vast universe and just explore. What if we put a really cool story in this universe? What kind of story can we tell outside of what we already know?
Which we need.
But I don't put it past people to put Yoda in this series, like maybe in the last episode or something like that, just because like he is chronologically alive and around during this.
I just think that it doesn't count if he's, you know what I mean. I just don't think it counts as being connected. Like it's not his fault that the nigga was old as a motherfucker.
Well, it's a matter of if you do it well, because like
that's what I'm saying. Like I'm talking because this is what I'm saying. If we don't have any connection to the prophecy, well, because that's basically the only thing that would have to happen for it to just directly just be like, boom, we talking about Star Wars. I mean, Skywalker now. Oh god,
it's like because Andor, like it had Mon Mothma, who was in the original series or in the original trilogy, but it didn't seem fan servicey. It just seemed like it was a good a progression of the of that. It seemed like it was a good way of just telling the story of those characters.
But
what
do you think about that, Jeff?
I think that's what's gonna happen.
So
sorry, I got distracted because I know what you were doing. Wait, I was
me.
So,
oh yeah, yeah. My bad.
I can only do one
right.
at a time.
So do I think this will be connected to the Skywalker trilogy?
That's the first.
Good God, I hope not. If Yoda appears, does that automatically make it connected? Fuck no. Yoda was 900 when he died. This is 100 years before Anakin's even born. I mean, there's so much that Yoda has done throughout the galaxy before the Skywalkers are even around.
Right.
I don't think.
What if we see Yoda, but he's like tall as shit? And like, he's like young as fuck.
He's
like,
Kit Fisto height.
He's like hooping and shit.
That would be hilarious.
Like, yeah. We lose ourselves. I don't know what Yoda's race is, but
Reddit would literally crash if that happened. Like you would not be able to get on Reddit for 2 weeks if that shit happened.
Yeah, we could probably talk about this show for probably like 3
Hold
more
on, man.
hours, but
what's his name's rolling blunt? You got a pineapple pizza.
Yeah, pineapple pizza. I want to know how that pineapple pizza tastes.
Man, you better have something good else on there.
Hey, let me just.
You don't like pineapple.
Let me just say.
Is that
anyone who's read anybody who's watched this podcast, anytime I'm saying like, oh yeah, we can talk about this for 3 more hours and try to wrap up. We talked for 45 more minutes. So let's calm down.
But like, I did want to get
you calm down.
Everybody has time.
We are doing that part right now.
Everybody has time to
out here.
Bro, don't ruin our bit. We was literally at that part already. Which is how is that pizza, Buddha Cafe? I want to know where you got it from, and I want to know how it tastes. I used to be I'm a pizza maker. I'm a pizza maker.
Don't make me pick up this red lightsaber again, bro.
I call you pizza builders, and I don't build a pizza. I just feel like that's stupid. But
yeah, building seems
like Subway sandwich artists.
The more I lose my voice, I feel like I should be doing my or I feel like
you guys filmed this horse tournament because I want to see it.
I don't know. Maybe I should do that next year. But I'm the commissioner of the tournament. But every time I lose my voice during the tournament is how I lost my voice. And every time I do one, I always feel like I'm doing an impersonation of Archer. The guy what's the guy's name?
Oh, H. John Benjamin.
H. John Benjamin. Every single time I lose my voice, it's like
Bill, you got an answer to your question too.
Pizza is still on standby, but I got it. I got it from a local mom and pop joint. You know
when
what?
you say on standby, does that mean like it hasn't been delivered yet, or is it
en route?
It hasn't been ordered yet?
Because I feel like that's not on standby. That's like
on
drive by.
It sounds like they haven't been on their way yet.
Yeah,
they're not on their way yet.
It sounds like they're on the way.
Are you waiting to press like deliver? Or like, do you waiting to pay for it or what?
I'm going 500 for on the way, Bob.
But no, I did want to ask you guys because this was the main plot point, right? About this whole thing.
Master Tugin.
Let me do this.
Torben.
So So what this guy was
Oh,
doing?
you got a snap too? Everybody got a snap.
It's on the.
Yeah, it's on the thing.
No, I didn't know it was on the thing. I just been using the one on the board. So
Do we still need these theme songs?
depends on which one. We'll talk about that off.
Yes.
But yeah, I felt like this was stupid. No, see, I can't like everything. I thought this was dumb only because
which part? Yeah.
Well, all of this. Like I like the part
His hairline was pretty dumb.
It was whack.
Sure was.
Like, let's just make him bald. He's clearly bald. Let's just let him.
Is he 45 or is he 16? I can't tell.
Real quick before you get into your point, I saw a video where somebody was like, his hair and makeup looks so like unnatural. I like the bake looks fake and all this other shit. I was like, I went to college with a guy who looks exactly like this.
Exactly.
Like, exactly like this. Like some people just look weird. I don't know what to say.
No. My thing is,
well, that's in college because he's been fucking meditating for 10 years then.
Exactly.
So how does that math?
That's what I was trying to say is he's been meditating for this long, nigga. He should have longer hair than this. Beard should be longer.
Yeah. Okay.
Hair should be longer.
Well,
if his meditation just keeps his body from aging.
So I think it might be something. So what he's doing there, someone actually like explained it on IMDb. Has taken the Barash vow, an oath by which a Jedi disengages from everything except the Force itself. So I'm wondering if it's some sort of thing where, like, because he's so in tune with the Force, it's almost like he's in like a cryopod or something.
Right, that's what I was saying. Is it like maybe he just doesn't really age for real, or his, he doesn't really age in that state because he's not moving, he's not eating.
And
first thing he ate, first thing he drank, goddamn 10 years.
So I did read a book.
Better ways to kill yourself.
Yeah, I hope it tasted good. Like this is the first
He
thing
could've just dived on the top of his lightsaber at some point. Why in the fuck did he just kill himself 10 years later? That's the only thing.
I have read a book where it did say that the Jedi are able to, if they need to, actually get sustenance from the Force. It's a rare ability, but it's a rare ability because you have to be so in tune with the Force.
See, this is the shit that be making me mad about Star Wars. Niggas just be making up shit.
It does sound like because I just recently watched
not you, Jeff, but goddamn Star Wars.
Oh no, I get what you mean.
I just recently watched X-Men: The Last Stand, where they were just like Jean survived because she had this cocoon around her, this telekinetic cocoon around her. And I was like, but that's like a year and a half ago. How is she still alive? She eating anything? So maybe that's how it works. Like you can have telekinesis, or AKA the Force.
Telekinesis is food.
Well, like maybe there's some sort of
because knowledge.
You never heard of those people who just eat sunlight? Come on.
And honestly,
they eat sunlight through their buttholes.
They don't come from Earth. We don't know what their average lifespan actually is.
Yeah, we don't know if he's a human or
we don't really know. He could just be like a weird old fucking weird ass.
I gotta give props to Film Age.
His hairline could be by design of his people. Like all his people could have their hairline. And your homie that unfortunate in college, he
could have been that person.
Your homie is an alien who looks like a baby and got a 70-year-old man's haircut. This just don't wake up. It don't. This nigga got Bill Maher disease.
Bill Maher disease.
Yeah, if you go look up Bill Maher, Bill Maher used to look. Bill Maher actually looks younger almost. It looks better than he did when he was in the 80s. Like it's crazy. So this nigga got Bill Maher disease.
Some people age up. I mean, what's the name? Marissa Tomei. She looks better in the 2080s.
Calm down, Costanza.
Ophelia says, I thought it was cool. He went into a vow of silence to find himself, but really he's probably just running from something shady he did in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I really like that aspect of it too, because it does seem like this is all from a form of guilt, especially since as soon as he comes 100%. Out, the only thing that makes him come out is the sort of the realization of this past traumatic event. And yeah, I thought it was kind of like a beautiful moment because like there's no way to kill him, but the fact that he decides to kill himself, I feel like that's just like an implication of something super dark.
Talk about Epstein. Talk about Weinstein.
Dude, I mean, Jeffrey Weinstein over there.
Jeffrey Weinstein.
Let me tell you something.
Hairline.
Well, also Athelius's next line is good too. It's like May is forcing the Jedi to confront their hypocrisy. Yeah. Which, by the way, someone needed to do that.
And I think that's what like leads into the other thing where he's like saying an acolyte is not going to kill with a weapon. Like I think they're going after their ideology to break them up.
Well, that is the way
an acolyte kills the dream.
That's the entire point of the dark side. The dark side, when they go after the Jedi, they use everything against the Jedi. They point out their hypocrisy so that they can make sure to use that against them because their hubris is their weakness, their inability to see anything outside of the Force is their inability to see the dangers of things that are to come.
Yeah.
Like if you notice, they really are the police. They are unable, really are the police.
They're just here to keep peace.
You lied about the Force.
No, look, they
lied about.
They always
meet the Jedi.
Only show up after some shit has happened. The Jedi don't prevent things from happening.
They're actually not allowed to.
They are the police, so that's how.
Yeah, I'm a phony.
If you think about that shit, like they're just on point for what they do, and that's why they always the dark side always rises when they're at their highest point, their zenith of douchebaggery.
Because there has to be balance, right? Like you can't tip the scales too far. But so I guess that leads into my next question. This motherfucker waited 10 years and he said, you know what? My consequences of whatever actions that I committed are in front of me, and the only thing that I can do is say, please forgive me, and then kill myself. That's the only that's where I'm like, what do you guys think?
Worst SAT.
What do you guys think?
Worst SAT ever. There's no, I get no other multiple choice options. Just kill myself.
So I think what it was is like, whenever we see these flashbacks that Osha or May are having, it's that their planet's like on fire and shit, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it's the Jedi started that. I'm wondering if it's the Jedi were sent there to like, because also remember they specifically pointed out we have to be careful about our political rivals.
Well, that's why I was pointing that out with the little girl, the Padawan, the whatever,
little
saying
youngling,
on fire. Yeah.
I figured she was just Daredevil, sees the world on fire. Yeah.
Well, or Ghost Rider. But like with and that's probably why a lot of people. I think Alex mentioned it that it would seem like a flashback because of how like thematically appropriate it is for what the plot threads that they've been setting up. But it's got to be something really bad because. If it's not something like completely disgusting and we're not like, oh, when we find out about this, that I think that's what's going to actually, the show's going to hinge on.
Well, what if it is?
I'll be so pissed if Disney fucking pulls back. If they nerf it, come on.
What if this is what I think it is. And I'm sorry if I'm spoiling something that is going to happen. I don't know that it's going to happen. I'm just so I'm just talking to people out there.
I want you to be right.
I want to get these ratings up. No, but I think that
where's your lightsaber, Jeff?
Oh, it's in my room.
Okay, never mind.
I think that this show is leading us towards the
What's that, Bill?
Do you want to take a second to think about?
Go ahead. Fuck it.
Yeah, like all the implications of this this episode has been like very interesting. I'm curious of where they're gonna go with all this. But yeah, like I'm just curious at where they're with like the implications of like the dark and light side of the Force, and just basically do you take two people who are Force sensitive and like are tuned to the Force and have them grow up completely different? Like, you know, what if one family grows up like what one person grows up with a good family, one person grows up in the foster system?
Yeah, and that's
like,
why
somehow they still have the same haircut. But like the question was like, what do you think? What do you think like the Jedi did though? Like that was the question.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that they just accidentally fucked some shit up. I think that they went somewhere thinking they would. Yeah, no, I think like they went there to save a spot. You know how they be doing. Some lasers got popped off. They on a forest inhabited planet, right? They over here, then bound fire, and then that's when the next Jedi that they going after, right? That's the Wookiee. The Wookiee try to save everybody, but then the Wookiee get knocked down some kind of way, and then one of these
he'll get up again. You're never gonna keep him down.
the Jedi that got the bald head, the Jedi with you can hit the goddamn rim shot button or just say the word rim shot.
I mean, I gotta tell you, I think this is way funnier.
But then the dude who just fucking freaked out and poisoned himself, that nigga is the one who messed up. He the one who freaked out, accidentally killed somebody.
Yeah.
How do you feel about his float down?
I think that he accidentally killed somebody.
How funny would it have been if, like, when he opened his eyes, he just like shit falls?
I think he accidentally killed her or thought he killed her, which is because something actually happened where because even Trinity, Squid Game, and this dude, they all seem extremely sure that this bitch had died.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They seem extremely positive this bitch was dead. I think we got a Sabine situation where she got
the order covered it up.
Yeah, I'm very curious.
Exactly. I think she got stabbed up. Yeah,
onto something.
Go ahead.
I'm very curious how like this. That's definitely the most compelling part of this entire series is the mystery of what happened with these two, or at least the perception of what happened with these two, because they both lived. That's one thing that we've been able to perceive from these first two episodes. But
I'm sorry, I know you weren't meant for that to be funny, but that was funny.
but like one of the things is
there is another.
One of the things that's most interesting about this show is like that they both thought that each other was dead. So there has to have been an event during that last night that they spent with each other that
somebody died.
It's like something incredibly tragic because all these Jedi are walking around with this guilt. Even Carrie-Anne Moss, there are a couple of moments in that fight scene where it seemed like she knew there was something that tragic happened the moment where they last saw each other. And I'm just very curious of how that's going to evolve, because I feel like Star Wars is at its best when it unpacks these conversations about like the complexities of the Jedi Council and like this overwhelming positive society, the overwhelming good that polices all of the universe. But it's like, are you guys that good? Are you guys infallible? Are you guys cracks in the armor? Are you guys do you guys have the capacity to police the entire entire galaxy?
We don't do crack.
Crack over
Death sticks all the way.
Crack is whack.
Crack is whack. That's why I do cocaine.
You best stay away from that crack cocaine.
Everybody who's watching, do crack like an adult.
Right.
Whatever you say there, Dan.
Only at the end of the day to take the edge off, you know.
Yeah.
Alex does not represent the views of the drunk man.
Do it classy.
Whatever,
like
nerd.
Hunter Biden. Do it like Hunter Biden does it. You know.
No, but I agree with you guys. I think the Jedi I think the Jedi, just like accidentally, committed genocide or something,
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how this.
It would not be the last.
I'm very curious to see how that scenario turns out, like how everything unfolded in that last scene, and that's the component that I really like about the show. Like, I have some nitpicks about the show, like just about like the way the execution, the cinematography, but I really love the story and how it seems like this noir film that's unfolding, and I'm curious to how the detective story of it all is gonna.
That's what I was gonna press you on, the cinematography. You're not liking the cinematography on this one.
No.
Okay.
Alex
is it at least
over
better than Ahsoka for you?
So it's funny that you say that. I feel like the cinematography during the fight scenes are really great, and I feel like that's more of a testament to the stunt coordinator, because like stunt coordinators work really close.
Fall
Guy. I feel like
Umba.
Stunt coordinators work really close with the directors of photography to get like their vision of how the fight choreography is gonna be played out, where everything looks real, because you gotta have the camera in a certain position to make like punches sell the right way. If the camera is in the right position, it's gonna look super fake. So I
porn chip.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that butt cheek to the left. Well, I feel like that is more of a collaboration with the store coordinators to have the camera pointed in a certain direction, and a lot of other scenes seem very flat, like Ahsoka.
The reason he doesn't like it is because it's all CGI. Go to the scene where remember, because I pointed it out. Remember, go to the scene where Squid Game and his Padawan are walking down, and it's in episode 1. They're like walking down, getting ready to go get Yord, and when they step down the stairs, they basically step on nothing. When they're walking around, they're stepping on nothing, because it's a very clear green screen job. What's that show that you be watching YouTube with the Corridor Crew? Guarantee you're gonna see this on Corridor Crew very, very soon. They step down onto nothing.
But
And
at that point,
they're Jedi.
That they can walk on water.
There's certain scenes that I feel like you feel are flat as far as the shot goes, and I think that has a lot to do with it, because like I told you off pod as well. See, he only liked to bring up things he liked, but I said off pod. No, I'm joking. But the thing I said off pod as well is this show is not doing the normal Star Wars thing where they just try to rest on, I'm gonna show you some Star Wars shit. Here's a planet. Here's a ship. Ooh, look at the ship. And they're all like 15-second shots that really don't need to be there. And yeah, okay, a 15-second shot don't seem long, but when you add 35 15-second shots, then boom, all I've done.
Spin on a thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm just saying this show hasn't done that, but where they have like cross paths, or this like moment in this one singular common denominator, is that those shots are in CGI, and now it's kind of not gonna hit as well.
But again, I attribute that to the cinematographer, and I didn't look up who the director of photography was on these 2 episodes, but there's a way to shoot things to make things more impressive. I'm not a cinematographer, so I couldn't tell you what.
I'm the cinematographer, even though with the CGI situation, that's what I'm asking.
I'm just saying,
yeah, because CGI has a big is a big part of
asking.
Yeah, it's a big part of like that's a big part of integrating like CGI with the way things are presented. Like that's why Andor looks so incredible. They used a lot of CGI on that show too, but
they use a lot of practical too, though.
Yeah, they use, but there's a way you integrate the two together, and like I feel like that show does a better job of just like framing scenes. Like in one of my favorite,
the color grading is better in that show too.
And I think that
on both of them, by the way.
I think that's my point. I think that's all because.
Hold on, can you repeat that again?
Chris Teague.
On both Andor and this right here?
Oh, I'm sorry. No. On both episodes of the Acolyte.
Okay, on the Acolyte.
Well, see, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
do you know what else you worked on?
What I'm saying, because everything that you're saying is exactly
Russian Doll.
Why I'm saying that it's
with Leslie Headland.
Only Murders in the Building, Glow, Russian Doll, Broad City.
That's nice.
We already talked about
but right here.
The director of the photographer.
I know, yeah, but that's all from Russian Doll. Everybody over here, like even cast members, are from Russian Doll.
Okay, so I just want to ask, and Jeff, you can lead with this question because I just want to ask you guys because we get this little thing. It says that
stationed on Brent Dock 16 years ago. Indara, Torben, Kelnaka, and you. Okay, so this is the weird thing for me is that we're on episode 2. She already killed 2 of them, right? Mm-hmm. And we've been introduced to this one guy, and then at the end of this episode, we're going to see. I'm pretty sure Kelnaka is the Wookiee that we see at the end of this episode, right?
Her name's very Wookish.
Very Wookish. No racist, no Diddy. But Torben is a Wookiee name for you?
They all sounded like
Torben's the meditator who died.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think Torben is a Wookiee name. I feel like Kelnaka is definitely.
I mean, they all sounded like.
But anyway, what I'm asking is that, like, and we talked about this a little bit before, is that like because we're only on episode 2. 2 of the 4 Jedi are already dead.
They're dead.
So, like, like how, and if it's going to be, you said 8 episodes? 8 episodes, right? So, if it's, and we're already moving on to the Wookiee dude, then how are we actually going to fill this runtime? There has to be more stuff. So, I'm wondering if you guys got, like, any theories about, like, what's going to be
2
going
things.
on. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So one, there's 2 possibilities I see. So the one is, May gets there, they're attacking the Wookiee and everything, and then these guys get there, save the Wookiee, Wookiee joins their crew. That's a possibility. But also remember, so May's looking to kill all these 4 guys, but when talking with Kamir, they also mention that she has to kill 2 of the people without using weapons to please her master or whatever. So I'm wondering if a part of it would also just be she kills. So we're saying Torben was a no weapon, even though. So we're saying Torben was a no weapon, even though poison clearly is a weapon. Right. I'm guessing it's going to be May kills Kelnaka with no weapon, then takes a pause to go to the master, get actually like ordained as an acolyte or something, makes her own lightsaber, and they're chasing her there, and then it goes into the whole thing,
real quick, because I'm glad that you brought up the lightsaber for a second, because
cocaine.
It seems like
sorry, that's sinuses. Sorry.
Yeah, a couple sinuses. I feel like they put a lot of visual importance on her trying to grasp the lightsaber of another Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's a part of like her training to like steal the lightsaber from another Jedi.
I think that's her initiation. Yeah, she got to steal it.
Yeah.
She can't just grab it off of him.
Yeah,
she got to take it in battle.
Because every time she grabs for a lightsaber, it's very slow motion. There's a lot of purpose behind
that. Yeah, and she says, "Attack me with all your strength."
Yeah.
And then also, she didn't pick up the lightsaber. She left the lightsaber behind when she killed Carrie Ann Moss.
She got
that's kind of interesting.
In battle, she got to take it in battle.
So I think a part of it is also and I don't know the answer to this, but where do Sith get their kyber crystals? Because they can't go to the planet that all the Jedi go to all the time to get their kyber crystals.
Yeah,
so I wouldn't be surprised if they steal lightsaber and then bleed that kyber crystal. You know,
makes sense.
But like, then why wouldn't she have to? Why wouldn't she pick up the lightsaber? Because she got that kill off. I was kind of like interested to see that, like, she just let this guy poison himself. Because if I wanted revenge, like, I would be like, oh yeah, take this poison, but still like stab him with the knife or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, because I want revenge. I don't want him to be like, oh, I'm so sorry, and then kill himself.
As my best friend Obi-Wan Kenobi would say,
old Ben.
So uncivilized.
I will say, I like, since we did get like little hints of other planets like Nar Shaddaa that are in the video games, basically, like the extended universe that we haven't seen in movies. We might even get some like Korriban lore, because like that's like
that'd be great.
Like a Sith planet. Where a lot of things from, like, you know, video games that I've played are kind of different from the ways that they played out in the movies, but we'll see how they decide to integrate this new Disney lore
integration
thing.
See, that's why this show is called woke. Y'all talking about integrating?
That is one thing that I like. I forget what we were watching, where somebody was like, one thing that I've always thought is like, woke started out as like a cool thing, like as like a smart thing,
right?
A succinct thing to explain a thing, shit. And then it just like turned into something.
You know who it really messed up shit for?
Donald Glover.
Snow the Product, the rapper.
Oh, did she have a woke song?
She got a whole marketing thing on woke. Her apparel, all it says woke on it. Woke, woke. This bitch. Woo! I feel bad for her.
I love.
But shout out to her. She live in the neighborhood too. That's my neighbor. Shout out.
Last question for Jeff. How did it feel seeing a Wookiee use the Force like this? Was it like kind of like, holy shit?
It was overshadowed for me by the fact that because of his haircut, and I've never had this issue with a Wookiee before, but because of his haircut, he just looked like a shitty Sasquatch.
Yeah, I like the Wookiee costume is not as good as
I get that the haircut's to make him more Jedi-ish, but it was just like, dude, what are you doing?
Have we got Have we gotten confirmation this is a he?
We don't know, actually. You know what? That's not woke of me. That's not woke of me.
I think that hairdo indicates that this may be a female Wookiee, the first female Wookiee that we've seen in live.
I'm telling you, that hairdo's all Jedi.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Moa.
I'm not saying it's not Jedi. I'm just saying, are we sure?
I don't know how to, because Kolnaka, Chewbacca, like, they're not like doing the Spanish conjugate. It's not O and A that they're doing with their names here. So
this is the reason I asked. We have never met a female Wookiee in live action so far,
outside of the Star Wars Christmas special.
Oh my god, this motherfucker!
True that.
Like,
according to the Wikipedia,
you that nigga who like bringing up the Holocaust and shit to tell a joke.
According to the Wikipedia. His pronouns are he/him.
Okay.
He's
a he.
And that's more like garbage.
Yeah, I'm like, when we were both watching this in live action, we were just like, a Wookiee with the Force, that seems like too much.
Yeah, that's
that seems like
that's like Superman. That's like
not
Superman.
The first one.
That's Superman with telekinesis.
Right.
That's fucking ridiculous. Jean Grey and Superman became a whole human being.
A little bit too much. But I'm also like very fascinated by the idea, because of course that would intersect at some point.
Yeah.
Also, like, should make 4.
I definitely also am paying to see it. Like, I don't want to pay to see it. I am paying to see it. I paid for this goddamn streaming service.
Right. No, I think it makes sense if they're like at the height of their council or whatever.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it makes
we not
sense.
mad at it.
It's
We
just
was
like,
just like
it's kind of like when
we
you
just
see,
looked at each other like, what?
Yeah.
It's kind of like when I see like Chris Hemsworth, where it's like you're good at acting, and like you can do drama, you can do comedy, you can do horror, you can do everything, and also you're like a cool dude. Just leave some talent for the rest of us, you son of a bitch.
Good dad.
Like,
he even had a
is-
kid and became a good dad.
Right.
He's like, I'm gonna slow down on all this acting because I want to have.
So
my
I
kid.
feel like it made sense with how these guys reacted. Like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, right.
You know what? Fuck this.
Yeah, it's like I feel like a Jedi Wookiee
Go outside, nerd.
is like the Chris Hemsworth of actors. It's like leave some talent for the rest of us.
Hey, yeah, man.
So I think you guys are gonna love this. The first
let me-
Jedi, the first Wookiee Jedi is technically not canon because it's legends, but it's Chewbacca's nephew, and his name is Lowbacca.
Lowbacca?
Lowbacca. L-O-W Bacca.
Yo, that's pretty great. I'm gonna name my first son Lowbacca.
I'm
I
gonna
feel
make
like it should
fun
be
of him.
Chop Baka.
You gonna name your first son that? I will make fun of him. I'm just telling you.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him where it came from.
No, I won't tell him where it came from. I'm just gonna make fun of his name.
Oh, that's fine.
Good. Yeah, I'll be like, nigga, your name. So let me tell you.
Straight up Nikki Six that shit on his 18th birthday.
Baka got a weird case. Why is he around?
Yeah, Baka got a weird case. Exactly. Hold on, I might have to just.
Why the fuck is he still around?
That's what I do right there. That's all I do right there. But I just want to ask because I want to do this for this series because of the divisive nature of this series. People are very like Jeff. Some people are like weary. They don't want to step their toe in the water. They drowned last time and somebody had to save them. They don't want to get into the water too much.
Yeah,
it's like,
there's
hey,
a lot of people out there.
so but exactly, there's a lot of people who hated it. A lot of people who was like,
He's not.
that's a lot of people who that's all they got for it. But the fact of the matter is, I want to know what the rating is on this one right here.
IMDb.
On the
Do you want to know the show so far or by episode?
We'll guess both episodes and then we'll know for the whole show.
Okay. Yeah.
Alex, what do you think? Or what is your
Starting
rating?
with episode 1?
Hey, fuck what you think. What is your rating for it? Episode 1?
I would say 7 for 1, 8 for 2.
Okay.
Okay. I'm
Bill?
gonna go 7 for 1. I mean 8 for 1, 7 for 2.
Oh.
All right. 9.
I just like how it works.
Yeah, I would go 7 for 1 and then 6.5 for 2.
Okay. None of you were right. 6.1 for 1, 5.9 for 2.
Ooh.
Jesus.
Yeah,
What do you think
I think
for the overall show is?
review bombed, bro. It's
Here's
review
where let me ask you, what do you think the review for the entire show so far is? With 26,195 votes.
It's probably like a 5 then.
Okay. What do you guys think?
Repeat the question.
With 26,195 votes, what is the rating for the overall show?
Oh man, I'm gonna go 6.8 since it's goddamn terrible fucking.
I would go 6.5 for the.
Yeah.
It's funny, none of you guessed 4.3.
Oh my lord!
Dude,
There's
it's
no
not.
that's a review bomb. There's no way it's not.
It's being review bombed by
This
these
is why I wanted to go back to the IMDb because I know there's nothing but haters out there, and I hope that this doesn't affect how Marvel.
Jeff, can you pull up like the
Disney goes on, goes forward with this because, like
the breakdown of the like.
Well, they like.
I don't know if
y'all know this, but John Boyega was supposed to be a Jedi. I don't know if y'all know that.
Should have been,
but that's what they were planning on doing on the second movie. But they changed all that shit, which is why all that shit's fucked up. And then in the third one, they was trying to fix all the second one, and it's just fucking terrible. Okay, so
I was shocked.
And I'm saying, so look at how crazy this backlash has been with this black lash.
John Diego was fucking amazing in it.
He was, and
They
before
never gave
the
him
movie
backseat.
came out, they was shitting on him. They took scenes out of the first one because he had the bad reaction. So my point is, I hope that is not what happens here, and that's why we here to highlight it right here on the Drunk Banthas. Right here.
Okay. All right.
You know what they're doing right here?
You guys ready for this?
Shapiro is on this shit. R2D2 is gay.
What the fuck? What?
Good.
Yeah, well, like, exactly.
He's
What the fuck are
clearly
you talking about?
pansexual.
I'm in middle school with this shit now.
Fucking
like
everything.
It's so fucking bad.
You're gay. You know how you're gay? You talk like this.
All right. Are you guys ready for the actual?
Oh, you
hold on, you froze.
You gotta say it one more time.
Say it one more time.
Nah, he's stuck in.
The government don't want him to say it. Remember how oh, you didn't watch it. What's his name?
I can't see.
Okay. Okay. All right. You're back.
Can you guys
You're
hear
back.
me?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, but if you guys want to check out what Ben Shapiro said about, sorry.
You don't want to check out what Ben Shapiro ever says. Let's talk about what Jeff got to say.
Out of all those votes, 45.5%, 12,000 are ones. No.
See, like that is a review bomb.
That's a review bomb.
Yeah.
It's a review bomb, dude.
Yeah, that's definitely
Mallet stuff. And
also, like, how sad and boring is your life that you have to go and be like, Star Wars isn't for queers?
I'm sorry, Film Age, but like they were just fucking around, joking in an interview, and it was just caught on camera. And that's not at all what they were saying. I saw the interview. It was like, oh yeah, R2D2 and CP3O are gay, and they just all laughed about it, right?
Yeah,
that is the same shit that we do here. We always do that type of bullshit, and they were just like having a funny moment.
That's what I said. I feel like I'm in middle.
It's not that cringe, to be honest.
I will say I'm super excited if anything we say becomes canon.
What? Who cares if they're gay? They're fucking robots. They're not gay.
Exactly. They're not gay. What the fuck?
They're not gay. It's a
we
whole
don't know what CP3
ass fucking conversation. No, not conversation, but a stupid ass thought that you think that these niggas is gay and then they're making Star Wars gay. It's just like the frogs. Remember when the frogs was gay?
You're making the frogs gay.
I can't do it with my voice right now.
But guys, let's.
You think it'd be easier to do it, but it takes a lot out of you. They're making the frogs gay.
Let us know in the comments what you thought of the first 2 episodes of Acolyte. If you feel like we're moving in a good direction with Star Wars TV shows, and if you're curious what happens next on the series, Thelia said in the comments, and even if they were, who cares? Like, why would that hurt anyone? Yeah, I think that's like, at least for the people that I've chatted with, it's more of like an advocation. Like they just like, dude, wouldn't it be cool if like these 2 characters were gay? Like I'm just like talking about like with my gay friends. There's like, would it be cool if there's like actually 2 characters who are prominent throughout all of Star Wars that were like actually queer? But yeah, I don't think that was George Lucas's intention. Who knows? Well, one day we'll have an interview with him and we'll find out.
Got one scheduled.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, George Lucas. We have a couple $1 million to get him on the show.
Jeff unfortunately had to leave the chat, but you can find all of his contact information in or at least his social media information.
Yeah, you can't really find anything else just because
of the hackers. Yeah, unfortunately. But Nine, where can the people find you on the interwebs?
You can find me on YouTube at 9NerdYards. That's the same thing for Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and also we have a Discord where I will be reigning over the conversation like an acolyte, killing all of your dreams willingly.
Honestly, like
killing dreams. That was I had to hit the button on that.
Don't make me pick up the red lights here.
I say this quite often, but I was a big fan of your channel way before ended up becoming friends via the interwebs. So
I'll be dropping a new video eventually. Stop talking to me. I'm working on one right now. I'm working on a few. Hopefully, I'll drop a few by the end of the month. Hopefully,
end of the month.
Fingers, toes, and crossed. We always enjoy the great content coming from 9NerdYards channel. Bill, where can the people find you?
Well, you can obviously find me right here. Right here every Monday, 8 p.m. Pacific time. Right here. You know what I'm saying? Kicking it with the and we also out here on the Bantha Bunch show with your boy Bill, favorite cousin. We do that every Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Why is it Pacific? Because we in the Pacific, bitch.
Yeah, that's exactly what time.
There's a phone number too.
Yeah, there's a new phone number. You can call. You guys can call a phone number. Hit us up. Actually, I'm gonna pull up the banner right here. Bam.
Ooh, yeah. There it is.
The call number right there. Ignore all the other shit, but yeah. Look at the number. It's 323-680-4101. And if you call Alex, you can leave a voicemail, even though it's not like I'm not gonna answer it. You can leave a voicemail, and then I'll put the voicemail on the YouTube channel.
Okay.
I'll do a whole bunch of them. We got to get some. We got to get a bunch of them though before I can post them. So come on up, man. You can talk about whatever you want. I'm gonna post it on the YouTube, and it'll be dope.
Yeah, man. Guys, check that out. Guys, check us out every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific time. Every Monday. Check us out on Likewise, Letterboxd, all the internet things at the Drunk Banthas.
3 episodes of The Boys dropping this week.
Oh man, it's a cacophony of sound. Guys, stay safe, my little bad boys, and may the force be with you. Oh my God.